Travolting presents Bobbin for Robin. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering World's Greatest Dad with special guest Max Sullivan.
I'm going to come right out and say it.
Oh,
okay.
I'm going to come right out and say it. I don't think he's the world's greatest dad.
You think?
I think
You think?
maybe the
Pretty
title
terrible.
might be a bit of a misnomer. I think there could be some lies occurring in the title of this motion picture.
Oh my God, Jeff! I think you might be onto something. I think that might be like the point of the movie. Oh shit!
Are you serious?
I think it might be the point of the of the movie.
Are you
Actually,
implying that a movie does not entirely have to condone its characters' actions?
well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Bobbin for Robin, and special welcome to Matt MacArthur.
Welcome back, Mac.
Thank you.
For your second Bobcat Goldthwait appearance.
Yes.
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 I'd like to take a second to acknowledge our friend Cole Bradley, who couldn't be here.
Hold on a second. Let me.
Yeah, Cole unfortunately asphyxiated while watching porn last night.
Oh my God! No, you can't do that to him. You can't do that to him. You cannot do that to him.
Really wanted to be here, but that's how it goes.
But he also, yeah. God damn it! I knew you were gonna go down that fucking route. Yes. Welcome back to Bobbin for Robin. Thank you for joining us last week for our episode on August Rush. Boy, did we have a fun time talking about a nice little innocent movie about a young boy who is searching for his mom and dad. He just wants to be reunited with his family, and he does it through the power of music, and it just swells in such emotion. And meanwhile, you got Judy Cortez going, "Oh yeah, dude," just fucking stroking it and asphyxiating himself. Oh God,
I'm currently looking at the list of movies that Bobcat Goldthwait has directed. Because I think, Mac, you've locked down, if we ever cover him again.
Yeah,
you
there's
have to
not
be there.
too many more in the catalog. It's, I guess there's a decent amount, but
I'm trying to say if there's any with a person we would ever potentially. If we ever do a Joel Murray show,
Joel Murray would be
then
great.
God Bless America is going to come and clutch.
And go back to Shakes the Clown.
Yeah, we would get to do Two Shakes, Two Clown.
right, yeah.
Sleeping Dogs Lie, starring Paul Walker. Is that? No, it's not Paul Walker. I don't know any of these people.
This is the third episode that I've been on, and somehow this has been the least pleasurable watch of all. The first episode I did was Escape from Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
That was a good time to talk about.
Not a great movie. Nothing terrible about it though. Shakes the Clown, semi entertaining. It was bad, but
But it was an entertaining watch for most people.
this one hurt to get through. I texted you guys about it.
Yeah.
I was like,
This is not a chill movie. When I describe this movie, it's chill.
it's like cringe the entire way.
It's it's elevated cringe. And I think putting someone like Robin at the center of cringe makes it hurt more. Because he is such a generally affable presence in movies that you want to be like, oh, it's Robin Williams. And he's just faking his son's suicide for clout. It makes it just that much more upsetting to see him dig deeper and deeper into this hole.
You haven't given this Letterboxd rating yet. What would you give it right now?
Did I not? No. 3.5, 7 out of 10, probably. I think I like the movie.
Okay.
I don't think it's pleasurable to. I didn't enjoy the experience of watching.
Gotcha.
But I do think it is well made.
What everything you were saying there was like, okay, I'm feeling like you probably didn't like the movie, but okay. The conclusion though being that the movie is good.
Yeah.
Okay. And movie is bad.
Yeah,
'cause
you
it's
guys
painful to watch.
both liked it more than me.
I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars not because I liked it, but because I thought it was probably in the last this movie came out in 2009. So I would say not quite 10 years, but almost 10 years of Robin's career. This is probably the most competently made movie. In terms
Which is
of,
to be fair, a low bar.
yes, it is a low bar, but let me just run you through what we've been having to regurgitate through. Oh man,
It's kind of like saying this is the best item at the Denny's buffet. You're not really bad.
This is the steak section at the Golden Corral, where the chef is there wearing the top hat. Why are they wearing those hats? They're not real chefs. What are we talking? What are we kidding ourselves, guys?
Eating up a frozen steak.
Right. Throwing
You're
shit
just-
in the microwave.
They're throwing shit in the microwave. But we talked about August Rush last week, and that's I think for whatever pleasure people get out of that movie, I think the objective fact is Robin's terrible in it. Agreed, right? I think a lot of people
August Rush.
Yeah, I think we talked about how there are people who love August Rush.
Yeah.
And there are people like us who are like, you liked August
He is
Rush.
a poor fit for the movie.
He's a poor fit. I don't think he's good in August Rush at all. Then there's License to Wed, which is also just a bad movie, and it's also just poorly made because the characters don't really make sense in that movie. We've already litigated Night at the Museum many a times. Happy Feet. But basically, the point I'm getting to is I gave this movie 3 out of 5 stars because this was the first movie I felt in a long time where I could feel the director had a singular vision from the beginning to the very end. And Robin is also not asleep at the wheel in this role. I really think this is probably his best role he's done since probably Insomnia. And I know I've said that before on a few other episodes, but I think this takes the cake, though. I think this will be the best role we've talked about with Robin in terms of this era past Insomnia. Truly. Because I
don't think it gets better from here in terms of Robin movies.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be, to be fair.
And to be clear, I'm saying this about a movie I thought was good. I don't think it was great, but
Right.
it's that's why I think I might be a little bit more beneficial to this movie is because we're in the doldrums right now and we only got more doldrums to go.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys liked it because you've been watching a bunch of terrible movies recently.
This is honestly fair.
Honestly, very fair.
This was not a good movie.
Yeah, let's go to some.
I will say yesterday I watched Once Upon a Time in America.
Okay.
Which is 4 hours long. It's this epic prohibition gangster movie ranging from 1922 to 1968, just encompassing De Niro and all these guys going through their life changes. And I was like, wow, this is a movie. And then I immediately watched this right after. It's just what a shift. What a
Yeah, I mean, if you watch almost any pretty decent good movie and then watch a late 2000s, early 2010s Robin's movie, it's my God.
This movie looks so digital because it was shot on early digital cameras that there were parts where I actually thought things were CGI. And then I was like, no, that's not CGI because it just has this weird sheen to it.
Yeah.
When he's at the talk show at the end, I was like, it looks like they're green screened into this. And then it quickly became apparent they're not. And I was just like, this just has such a weird, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's crazy calling 2009 still early digital. I know it kind of is still, but it's we're sort of at the point where it's digital's not as new. It's been 10 years. Digital.
It has been 7 years since the first digitally shot movie.
Which was
Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Right.
The first. There's
it's the first fully digital movie.
There's an indie movie that did it before, I believe, but Attack of the Clones is the first major Hollywood production that shoots entirely in digital.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael Mann's ooh, I can do this for Collateral, and I can put the camera up Tom Cruise's nose, and he's like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
And rips a line of cocaine. And then David Fincher's like, well, what I can do is now I don't need to wait for them to take the film out of the camera, so I can do 80 more takes.
Yeah.
And delete the takes I don't like. I learned this incredible story from Robert Downey Jr. recently on Zodiac. That he'd like just gotten out of like his pit of despair. Like he had come back. He was uninsurable as an actor. Like people had to put money up to get him in their movies. And he gets to Zodiac and he's like, I made it back to a real movie. And David Fincher's like, delete the first 30 takes. Don't need them. And he's like, I was like, oh my God.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah. So, some context in pretext. This is Bob Goldthwait's second.
Starts on a first name, like a Bob, just Bob.
Yeah.
Did I just call him Bob? Bob Goldthwait.
Bob Goldthwait.
Bobby
Is
Gold.
his real?
My friend
full
Robbie Williams.
legal name Bobcat Cougar Goldthwait? Like what? I want to know what's on the birth certificate.
His legal name is Robert Francis Goldthwait. But like, come on.
See, that's like
Robert Goldthwait. He
Like,
is actually Bob.
chastise me at the Hague here, but like that seems almost like a more like prestigious director name. That like if this movie
Absolutely.
was directed by Robert Francis Goldthwait, I'm like, oh, what's Robert Francis Goldthwait like as a director? And then I watched this movie, I'm like, something's wrong here. This is not directed by Robert Francis
No,
Goldthwait.
definitely a Bobcat.
But if it's directed by
Bobcat.
Bobcat Goldthwait, I'm like, okay, this entire movie makes sense. And his entire filmography makes sense from there. But yes, this is his second collaboration with Robin Williams, the first being Shakes the Clown. That movie being Robin Williams did like a little cameo on
the mime.
Uncredited cameo as the mime. And but they have remained close friends for a while. Bobcat Goldthwait, I think I said this on the Shakes the Clown episode, but it's more prescient now because like it's one of the more recent movies that Bobcat and Robin remained pretty close friends throughout a lot of the decade. Now Bobcat is trying to make World's Greatest Dad. He gives a script to Robin, hoping that he can maybe get him on as another uncredited side role. Robin reads the script, loves it, and decides, I think I should actually play the lead role in this movie. To which Bobcat's like, me getting like an A-list star actor on my movie? Like, fuck yeah, absolutely. Which probably increased the budget like fivefold or whatever. But I don't know what Robin's going rate is because at this point in career, Robin does definitely have, how do I phrase this? The time off to take this movie. Because he's not weighing World's Greatest Dad with what's another 2009 like drama movie that like came out like
The Social Network.
Yeah, he's not weighing like, oh,
Avatar.
Do I do this this movie with my good long buddy Bobcat as like a, or do I do the David Fincher movie that I got the offer? Well, guess what? He doesn't get the David Fincher offer because of where he's at in his career, those offers aren't coming. So you can say that like, oh, he did his buddy a favor and like took World's Greatest Dad as the lead, but I also think it's like, yeah, or maybe he just...
If anything, the favor seems to be on Bobcat's end. Like, hey, Robin, here's a movie for you.
It's like, I think it's more like 50-50. Because like Bobcat is surely no like acclaimed director at this point. Like he's written and directed a lot of movies, but they're all kind of like spoofy movies.
Yeah.
Like I'll direct everybody to see like the averages of the IMDb's of all of his movies before World's Greatest Dad. Not all of them are really great. So it's kind of on both ends. Like Bobcat, kind of like a B-list, C-list director. Robin, who was A-list and is now kind of dropped down to B-list. It's kind of like the worlds collide in a perfect way. And now they make this they make World's Greatest Dad. But where Robin's at his career, it's a lot of this is a regurgitation from what I've already said in episodes past, that Robin's work life, personal life, and like physical life, like a lot of it is in the gutter. Not quite yet at this point, but I want to say like shortly after this movie is where he gets surgery on his heart to a valve replacement, which he talks a lot about. So he's got like health problems coming up. His divorce with his second wife, Marcia, has already happened. And now he's on to wife number 3. I think Susan, I think her name is.
Susan Schneider.
Susan Schneider, thank you. but at this point, like Robin's gotten flop after flop after flop. And so I think we're getting close to the recap episode for this era. And Mac, now what we called this era of Robin is called the Old Dogs era. We called it the Old Dogs era.
The Old Dog era.
The Old Dog era. Thank you.
Hilariously, Old Dog's not present in the Old Dog era.
Correct. Correct.
In spite of everything the title would imply.
Because like era number 2, which is like his heyday, the 90s, Aladdin, Jumanji, Doubtfire, Good Will Hunting, like that's called like the thespian era. That's like Robin is no longer a comedian, he's an actor. And in this era, what I think you and I have talked on episodes past is like Robin is an old dog, you can't learn new tricks.
Yeah.
These are the same decade Anchorman is coming out. This is the same decade that Step Brothers is coming out. This is the same decade of you coined the term the what's the director?
Judd Apatow?
Yeah,
Judd
the Apatowian era.
Sure. Yeah,
Judd Apatow takes over
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, the Apatowian era takes over. So like this is a new era of comedy that Robin can simply either not adapt to or he's not invited to. One or the other.
He's simultaneously too big of a star to like take the supporting roles in those movies, but also not a big enough star at this stage to like
To be the lead.
To
in
be the
Step
lead of
Brothers,
them.
or you know,
like
Adam McKay
like
or Judd
Adam
Apatow.
McCall and Judd Apatow aren't writing a Robin Williams movie.
exactly.
Yeah. And that's where we're at in Robin's career right now. Okay. I think that's probably
How serendipitous for him to end up on this movie.
Yeah.
yeah, like
know?
a lot of things had to go wrong or
Yeah.
right, however you want to phrase it, for this movie to exist. Now, Jeff, you said 3.5 stars. I said 3 stars. Mac, out of 5 stars, where would you put it?
1.5.
Okay.
This will be a good one.
You really did not like this movie.
No, I did not.
Can you give like a short, like before we go into plot mode, like what about this was so vitriol to you?
The kid character to start off with.
Yeah.
I just, it's just hard to watch. I mean, we'll get into it, but
Yeah.
but it starts off like that, and then he dies, and then I was hopeful for the second half of the movie to be more like Robin doing kind of
Shady shit.
shady shit, zany shit. But no, that stuff was just like depressing to me because it seemed like he wasn't really getting anything out of it. And then at the end, it didn't even make sense to me. The whole, like, the reason why he came clean at the very end.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like he's about to get everything he ever wanted. There's, like, even if he thinks he's doing good in the world because of this notebook, like, there's a kid who's like, I was going to commit suicide and this book saved me. Mm-hmm. Right before he's like, nah. You know?
Yeah, he died masturbating.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no payoff at the end.
I agree that I was confounded at the end. I was like, what did we... It's kind of the burn after reading bit.
He's
It's
like, right
what
about
did
to
we
get a
learn?
book deal.
Not to do it again.
I think the movie at the end is like, it's missing a scene.
Yes.
Because it goes from him like kind of getting everything he wants off of this lie, and then he comes clean the next scene.
Right.
And you're missing like in the
We
middle.
need in the second act for him to be like kind of debating. It's like, should
Yeah.
I be doing this? You know, like almost coming clean, and then oh, the payoff is too good. There's too many kids in my poetry class.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, the reasons he comes
there's-
clean for
it
what
just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, for what the movie displays to us isn't quite adding up to match his logic. Because you're right, Mac. It's like, what are the reasons based on just the surface level text that the movie shows you? It's like, oh, like he has to write some things that maybe aren't quite truthful of what his son was really like. And also there are people who are pretending they were friends with him all along and he knows that they weren't. But at the same time, there are all these people who...
It doesn't even
have
seem
been
like that part of it is like
Yeah.
eating at him at all. He's like just... he's also not even like loving it.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there.
Floating through.
Yeah.
I think the movie, like, I truly think all it needs to like fix this is between the talk show and him coming clean. You need one more scene with Andrew
Yeah.
where he kind of like just supposedly tells him, I know you wrote that.
Totally.
And
They hint at that.
they keep hinting at it. I keep thinking okay, so
I'm like, the gym coach is gonna
Yeah.
somehow figure this out.
like I like
something.
because I do like the idea of Robin like coming clean instead of being exposed.
Yeah.
I just think like you need like a little kick to him where the kick can be like, I know you wrote that. He might have been disgusting, but like he was my best friend, and this is like killing me to see him misrepresented, like something like that. And I think that is really all the motivation Robin needs to be like, I am deceiving myself and my son and coming clean.
Well, even
I think like one scene actually fixes the problem.
I think you're on a really right track there, Jeff, because like there's a scene that I thought was coming that didn't come, pun intended. That earlier in the movie, when I always want to call him Judy Cortez from Spy Kids. Daryl Sabara is the actor who plays Judy Cortez in Spy Kids. His name is Kyle Clayton in the movie. In the scene where Kyle has his friend Andrew over, played by Evan Martin, and Robin Williams is like, hey, he's got to go home. It's 9:30. It's like he can't. His mom's an alcoholic. Now, of course, he says it in his fucking douchebaggy incel kind of way, but there is like a sliver of like a thread in there of like, oh wait, like maybe this is like, here's the thing. In the year of our Lord 2026, it's really hard to find anything fucking humanizing in like incels like these, especially in today's kind of context. Like, I hear what you're saying, Jeff, in the sense of like, you know, there should have been a scene where Andrew said like, I know he was disgusting, he was my best friend. And I immediately twitched when you said that, because it's like anybody who says this kid was like their friend, I'm like immediately red flag to you.
Yeah.
Like if you're his friend, like that's like saying, you know, Andrew Tate might be like the worst scumbag, but don't you kind of like the guy? It's like, no. But I digress on that point. I think there's a scene where Andrew says, listen, like he's getting all this praise for things that were just not true. And you know, it's not true. All I knew him as was the friend who helped me not be home with my drunk mom.
Yeah.
And that's your scene right there.
That's the scene.
That's the scene. It's like for as disgusting as he was, for as awful as he was, he helped me when I was at a low point. And that's what he should get praised for. Not this bullshit stuff that he didn't respect women. He didn't like anything. He was a horrible person, but like he helped me at my lowest point. That's what he should be remembered by, not by all this fake bullshit and like the Andrew shy kid kind of dialogue way, whatever. But that's your scene. And we don't have that in this movie. Instead, that happens after he comes clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Robin just lets them be like, no, he was a douchebag. And that's how you're going to remember him. There's no like, there's no like, oh, none of you guys were friends with him, but he was a good kid, but this is all a lie. It's like, no, he's going to be remembered as a pervert.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything to the degree of like, because like the whole come clean scene, and we'll get to this when we talk about the whole part of the movie, but the whole come clean scene, he's like, none of you were friends with him. None of you liked him. You wanted to put him in a special needs school. He was a pervert who disrespected women, who died like masturbating. And then he walks away.
Yeah, and then he leaves.
There is no, but he was my son, or but he was a friend.
I will say that's actually what I like about that scene. I like that he doesn't like
try to shred anything,
because the whole movie is like ostensibly trying to be about how we sugarcoat like bad people in death,
right?
And like kind of use their faces like our visage. It's like I'm trying to think of an example that isn't Charlie Kirk.
I was just about to say, holy shit,
because like I think the movie's very much about that phenomenon. Because there is in a like, obviously when someone passes away, you want to like remember the good parts of them, which I think is very true and real.
Yeah.
But whereas like sometimes someone who just like was undeniably like kind of just a bad presence, and died in like, you know, a gross situation.
You can say Donald Trump. It's okay.
No, I'm not. No, he's still kicking. That's the problem.
I know.
He's still alive.
But I think that's kind of where the subtext is leading a little bit.
No, it's actually not leading to that.
Okay.
Well,
I always
ask
say
me again in 10 years.
I will say all of the comments I see are like, when he fucking goes, there will be parties in the street. Like that's how I
that's like a different situation. I'm trying to think of like a famous example of this that isn't Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna use Charlie Kirk.
Michael
Sorry,
Jackson.
If you like Charlie Kirk on the show, sorry.
Why are you apologizing for people who like Charlie?
I shouldn't apologize to people who like Charlie Kirk. No, but anyway,
I was saying maybe like Michael Jackson, or Elvis Presley, or
Jackson will come in here and shoot me.
That's true.
As they no,
I didn't say anything about Michael Jackson.
But like for example, it's like Charlie Kirk, like his reputation was kind of collapsing at the time of his assassination. Like Turning Point USA was like losing subscribers. He was kind of becoming outdated. And people were like, oh, he's kind of just like this like anti-Semitic loser. And then he got shot and everyone's like, a true American. Put him on the flag. And I think this movie's about that scenario where like a lot of people who are doing that don't actually care about Charlie Kirk.
Right.
They just want to use Charlie Kirk as like a way to get revenge on their enemies or to justify their belief systems.
To feel better about themselves. And I think this movie is so specifically about that situation where they take, what's the kid's name? Daryl Sabara. What's the Kyle.
Kyle.
That shows how memorable his performance was. But they're trying to take like Kyle and make him the avatar of all these different beliefs until ultimately what I like about the end is Robin's like, let's just remember who this person was. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yes, he's my son, but I'm not sugarcoating. Like, here are the ways he was wrong. Here is truthfully how he died. It was not glorious. It was not sympathetic. And that's that. And then he leaves and he kind of feels freed by that.
But what reason does he have to say that?
Exactly. That's the problem at the end of the movie is that you're missing a beat.
To say it like that.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't ever, I don't know, share like why he, I don't know. Sorry. I'm trying to think, Stuart. I don't know. It's the reasoning behind it that really kills me.
That's missing.
It comes out of nowhere and it doesn't hit to me.
I generally agree. Like, I think I like the ending and I like the movie I like 70% of this movie, which is why it's a 7 out of 10 for me. I think the 30% that I don't like is that there's just like leaps in logic that aren't explained. Even if I like both ends of the rainbow, like I like the pots of gold on either end, like I need the bridge connecting them to make sense. I need like to understand why Robin makes a decision, even if I like the decision and what it means for like the point of the movie. But maybe we should go back to the beginning and kind of go through the movie.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So because this is where like I might get started off maybe on the other side of both of you, is I actually like the first half of this movie.
Yeah.
I actually kind of dig the first half. And the reason being is because the build up to this movie when, we were gearing up for World's Greatest Dad, as anybody who had seen this movie or knew what happened in this movie and told them about to watch World's Greatest Dad, they're like, oh, you are not ready for what happens in World's Greatest Dad. And it kind of got soft spoiled for me a little bit. Like I knew that there was going to be this kid, the son, who like, I realized I thought it was actually a suicide, but I didn't realize it was not really a suicide. It was like autoerotic asphyxiation. And then the dad kind of takes it away, which is when we start with the beginning of this movie and we begin in this little song. Robin Williams,
the music in this movie enters.
I've learned to slam on the brake.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That's not Robin Williams. Oh shit, that's Ben Platt. Oh shit. Sorry.
Get him out of here.
Sorry guys, sorry. I just played the opening song to Dear Evan Hansen, a musical that has virtually the exact same plot of this entire movie, which we can talk about. Have you ever seen or heard Dear Evan Hansen, Jeff? Do you listen to like the songs or got wind of the
Here's
musical?
the thing about Dear Evan Hansen. I became aware of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, life is just too short for me to watch this movie. I watch a lot of bullshit.
You do.
To be clear.
You do.
I watch a lot of movies that are not good. Mm-hmm. And then I just saw Dear and I was like, I cannot. I don't have the time for this.
Life is too short. Jeff Sweeney. Yeah, Dear Evan Hansen.
I have watched the clip of him running down the hallway like 7,000 times. Have you guys seen this?
Oh, where he's like, he
No.
runs away like a dweeb. Yeah. The problem, I was watching a video, Mac, you showed up as I was like mid-watch, and something that somebody pointed out that's interesting is like this movie has the exact same like structure of World's Greatest Dad, where it's like we start with like a character that we're supposed to like sympathize with, kind of, not to be like a perfect character, of course, like, but that's the key difference. And then they are granted this like opportunity that we know as the audience is not a good thing to do. And it's a matter of how much do you believe them in doing that thing. In World's Greatest Dad, the opening scene is like, hi, my name is Lance Clayton. Yeah, Lance Clayton. I'm a writer, but none of my scripts sell. Boo. One of these days, I'm going to sell a script or sell a novel that's going to make me a bunch of money and a bunch of women and all that stuff. Yeah. And like, it's smart on the movie right away to establish that he might be like a surface level good guy, but he's got flaws.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think you immediately don't sympathize with him.
I'm saying like I at least empathize with him when the opportunities come up and he takes it. Not to say that it's the right thing to do, but you understand who the character is and why he would take this opportunity.
Absolutely. It's from that one line.
Right. And
The very first line of the movie.
Right. And also like through, I think, Robin's performance, like he comes off as like he tries to be a good dad, but at the end of the day, he just kind of like gives up.
He's not a good dad.
That's the thing. It's like
it's not even that he gives up. You're talking about the scene where Kyle is saying his Andrew's mom's an alcoholic. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Robin Williams doesn't like understand that. He doesn't let that moment live. He goes, now fuck you. Like he's got to leave.
Well, to be fair,
you're like, oh, fuck you,
if
Robin
my
Williams.
son was talking
Like,
to me like that, I would also be like, that's a good point. But fuck you, no. Like I would also kind of like this guy is a flawed character. He is kind of a dirtbag in most cases. But I respect that the movie at least tells you that right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So at everything he does in the movie, whether it's like good or bad, it at least is supposed to make sense. Hence why this movie like suffers crucially in the third act for me. Hence why I loved the first half of the movie more. It's because everything that happens in the first act, as good or bad or those decisions are, I at least understand them. Mm-hmm. Whereas Dear Evan Hansen, that musical starts off and it's like, look at this dweeb. Look at this dweeb. Look at this social anxiety high school dweeb. Don't you just love him? Don't you just love him? Isn't he just like such a likable like dweeb?
You're getting very close to doing Ricky Gervais here. You're getting very close to like you started adopting like the pasta.
I understand.
You're just like, isn't he a dweeb? And I don't care.
And I don't care. He's such a dweeb who has a heart of gold, and I don't care. And I don't care. But that is basically what the musical's trying to do. It is trying to say
you
like
whack off every night.
it's the musical's trying to make Ben Platt's Evan Hansen be like this kid who we're supposed to feel sorry for, and who is like, he's a good at heart, and like we like him, and we want the best things for him. And then when he does like a horrible thing, which is lie to this family's face, and not just like a small lie, like concoct a big lie while looking at a grieving mother. And we're supposed to be like, this is the perfect protagonist who's like flawless that you set up. And now we're like, I don't like this kid. And the rest of the musical, this is why the movie really gets panned, because you can't sugarcoat it.
The reason the movie gets panned
is Ben Platt's 30 years old and he's playing 17 and he has a perm.
When they cast him in the Broadway show, he is age appropriate.
Right.
And then he's like 33 playing a teenager. He looks insane, but he's like playing a teenager in the movie. It's so bad.
It's bad. But
mind you, I have not seen the movie, but I have seen the clip of him running down the hallway.
Yes.
Which I have been unable to find.
Okay. But like, and that's, I think, the key difference between World's Greatest Dad and Dear Evan Hansen is the musical tries to get you to sympathize with Evan Hansen, and you can't, because his whole actions make no sense to the character that we had just established. I mean, they kind of make sense, but the actions of prolonging it don't. Whereas Robin Williams' character, like, first we'll get to like the actual death scene, and I think that scene was so well done because like everything he does, it's like, yeah, I get it. I get the suicide note. I get like the whole like fucking hanging his son. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if anybody could actually
but it's the best scene in the movie.
It is the best scene of the movie. And you get it. And you understand why. Whether it's the right or wrong thing to do, you understand why he's doing it. And you understand why he's doing it without there being any explanation during the scene why he's doing it. Like it plays very well. So that I just wanted to point that out because like I know a lot of people are going to look at World's Greatest Dad and be like, oh, this is a lot like Dear Evan Hansen. Well, there you go. We did that bit. Moving on. Yes, he's a failed author. He teaches poetry, which I liked because I like that he's like an anti Dr. Keating,
Absolutely,
and Dead Poet Society. I did like that. he's like a washed up poetry teacher who can't write.
That parallel was not lost on me.
Right?
Whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's really clear.
It's fun to cast Robin as the shitty version of his previous character.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And the thing is, you do like kind of think if Dr. Keating, like, could this be his future? Not that like it's literally a sequel, but like the end of Dead Poet Society, he gets fired from the school.
Yeah.
Like getting fired from a prestigious institution probably doesn't look great on your record.
Yeah.
And so like you can envision a world where after Dead Poet Society, this kind of just becomes his character. Like being passionate about the poetry, but nobody wants to listen. And no matter how hard you try, they won't listen.
Yeah, the only problem is Dead Poet Society takes place in the 50s, and this is like 60 years in the future.
Literally, it does not literally make sense, but
it is funny. It is funny.
It's funny that like you can track how this makes sense.
Also, Daryl Sabara's character would not survive 2 seconds on the street in the 60s acting the way he was. Like, he would get fucking stabbed and thrown into the gutter.
Well, the thing, speaking of stabbing, there's a thing this movie is missing, and I don't understand why it doesn't have it. Why does his Uncle Machete not come to save him?
All right. Spy Kids reference, check. Swipe, moving on.
Mac, are you aware
like
that the Machete movies are supposed to be direct sequels to Spy Kids?
No, I was not aware
Danny
of that.
Trejo plays the same character in both movies.
Isn't he just play the same character in all his movies, though?
Well, he's essentially played Machete, I think, like 5 times.
Oh, I always thought
in the first one, he's like, Junie Cortez, it's me, your Uncle Machete. And then like 15 years later, he's like cutting Mel Gibson's head off with a machete.
And then he gets killed by a predator in the movie Predators.
Well, in that he's just playing a dude. He's playing Danny Trejo.
He's basically Machete, though.
He should be playing Danny Trejo as himself. Kidding.
Hey, it's me, actor Danny Trejo. Why am I on this planet?
Do you know why Danny Trejo is an actor? Do you know this story?
It's a Robert Rodriguez story, isn't it?
No, it's Michael Mann making Heat, and he's like, what I want is a real criminals in this movie.
Oh.
Like, we got to really like capture the essence. And so he like basically finds Danny Trejo straight out of prison and is like, come be in my movie. And Danny's just like, okay. And then, like now he's like sponsoring tequila. It's like, what a glow up.
What a glow up.
Absolutely.
But Danny Trejo was not in this movie, unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to say it. And then he walks into his son's bedroom. This is the beginning of the movie again. And he finds him choking himself, watching porn. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Just gonna let that sit there and breathe for as long.
Yeah.
Look, some people have their things and some people have their stuff.
What I like about it is that it is the most possible, like, unsympathetic, grotesque, like, kink to have.
Yeah, like it's. I'm huge. I'm very much like a anti-kink shamer kind of guy. Like, hey, whatever, as long as it's 2 consenting parties involved, like, do what you want to do, man.
I don't know what it is, but there's a way to make an accidental death in this movie like more sympathetic.
Absolutely, but they try to avoid that.
And I like that there's an intentional decision made to no, we're just going to make it the worst possible version of this.
Yeah. Which matches the theme of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it would make the movie worse if they tried to make it more sympathetic.
Yes.
Truly, I think. But yeah, he's choking himself looking at porn, and Ron was like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Dad, what are you doing? I'm literally about to come." Don't you hate that? Your dad interrupts you when you're jacking off.
I also like that because the movie was sold on the premise of like his son dies.
Yeah.
That was like in the trailers. That's
Yeah.
what they were selling.
Yeah.
So I like that they do the fake out at this point.
In the beginning of the movie.
You're like, wow, we're getting to this quick.
It got me because I did read the log line before, and I was like, wow, that was quick.
I like what I was like, wow, we're getting right into it.
Yeah. And then that scene is just so uncomfortable. He's just yelling at his dad. He's calling him the F word. It's calling him a pervert. And it's just like, dude, oh God, relax. You're the one who's like needs to stop doing this.
Yeah. Right away we
Lock
get
your door, man.
we get
It's not
introduced
hard.
to Daryl Sabara's Kyle Clayton, and the most accurate way you can describe is he is definitely an incel, and that's about it. I don't think there's any other descriptors for him. He's
an incel before we had the term incel.
That's what. Okay, so I
Absolutely.
didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be wrong, but like I think we are all collectively right about like this is before incel.
I'm looking up when incel.
When did incel
okay.
become like popularized?
Right.
I want you to know
this is definitely before it became a
Like a
for lack of a better word, a household term.
right.
I started typing incel
medical
in-
terminology.
Yeah, before it became in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, right.
The first thing that appeared when I typed incel, like in the Google like autofill, was Infowars. I think it's just because it also starts with IN, but I found that very funny.
Very good.
The term
A lot of
is-
InfoWars in the news these days.
a lot of Tim. What's his last name?
Heidecker.
Tim Heidecker. The videos where he's like, the Infowars global tetrahedron is Alex Jones has been cast out.
What the fuck?
Stuart, have you seen this?
No, I don't know anything about this Infowars.
So The Onion bought InfoWars.
Okay. That's great.
And then
I think that's awesome.
Tim Heidecker, I believe, just bought it from The Onion. And now he's like coming out and saying it's going to be the place for trans comedy. That was the last thing that I read.
Whoa. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
They bought it with the Sandy Hook families. Basically, it's part of the settlement. For Alex Jones's
Because for people
lawsuit.
who don't know, Alex Jones was one of the Sandy Hook deniers who said the shooting didn't happen. It was a government hoax to take away the guns. Everybody should be repeating that to all of your conservative friends. Make sure everybody knows that Alex Jones, Sandy Hook denier. Anyway, thank you.
But as a result, he lost. The Onion tried to buy Infowars like 2 years ago, and then it got tied up in a lawsuit, and the lawsuit's basically been settled. There's an appeal happening, but they expect it to get resolved pretty quick.
Okay.
So the Onion will own Infowars under its like parent company, which is hilariously named Global Tetrahedron.
That's awesome.
And they put Tim Heidecker in charge of Infowars.
Who's Tim Heidecker?
He's a comedian.
Okay.
He's very good.
You'd probably recognize him if you saw his face.
But he's just doing Alex Jones style videos right now, where he's just like, all right, these.
Yep. Okay. I gotcha.
And the new logo is Infowars, except with an onion for the O, and it's the pride colors.
That's fantastic.
It's like
The world is healing, kind
a
of.
unironically good thing. Like it's so rare you hear of an unironic good thing in the news.
Absolutely.
And he's like, oh, this is nice. I'm sure it had Alex fucking what's it? I cannot remember this kid's name in this movie. It's the third time I've forgotten it.
Kyle Clayton.
Kyle Clayton.
I'll say, speaking of future school shooters, Kyle Clayton.
Yeah, he would have been angry about this had he lived to see it occur. Incel seems to have not really become a thing until the 2010s. So this is pre-incel.
Yeah. But he fits all the descriptions. He'd be a big Andrew Tate, Alex Jones listener.
I think this movie coming out in 2009 also like makes an interesting comparison with The Social Network, which is a movie that if you watch it now seems so much more like reflective than like it feels like it was made this year about 2009 instead of in 2009.
I kind of agree
the,
with
the
that.
Social
yeah.
Network weirdly like is a movie about how Mark Zuckerberg founds Facebook, creates the idea of social networking, all because he's really pissed that a girl rejected him. And it's kind of like what ultimately is these systems now. Like they're just for angry guys to, find ways to find each other and to hate. And I find it's so interesting that movie comes out in 2009. Everyone's like, oh, good movie about Facebook. We love the Facebook. And then like 15 years later, you watch it and you're like, this is so like, this predicts exactly where this is going. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think simultaneously, this movie is obviously not created at the level of craft or competency of The Social Network.
Yeah. Imagine David Fincher directed World's Greatest Dad.
But
or being written by Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, if Aaron Sorkin written, it would have been 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But like, there's just something about this movie's portrayal of this care of Kyle Clayton, and its eventual like, wrap up of we're gonna idolize this guy that feels very different in 2026 than it probably did in 2009. Where it's like, oh, this guy kind of has like a seat in the White House now, like this type of person.
Yeah.
And in 2000, I was never thinking about a person like this who just watches porn on the internet instead of like the concept of porn on the internet was still new.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that I'm giving this movie more credit than perhaps it deserves, because I do think there's interesting, like, it's really interesting the spaces it's playing in the time it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these aren't ideas that really just start permeating culture for like 5 to 10 years after this.
Yeah. The lonely dudes on the internet.
Like lonely guys on the internet.
Yeah.
For 2009, like the internet was, for the average homeowner, like 10 years old at this point.
Was Julian Smith on YouTube back then? The world was a very different place.
You guys ever watch the
Smosh.
Yeah.
Weezer Pork and Beans music video?
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite music videos, because it is just it's a perfect encapsulation of like 2006 YouTube. Stuart, just for like context, it's Weezer sing as you would in a music video, singing Pork and Beans.
Jimmy's mom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sorry.
But the whole video is them with all of the early YouTube stars.
Oh,
So it has like Charlie the Unicorn, Leave Britney Alone.
Wow.
How many shirts can I put on top of other shirts?
Wow.
And it is just like, I'll watch it probably like once a year, because I think by no intention of Weezer, it has become such a perfect time capsule of what the internet like felt like at this time. It felt like limitless possibility.
Yeah.
And this is the first movie I've seen from that as kind of like, that's viewing it in a negative way, but not in like the kids are going to lose their minds on the idiot box way. It's like kind of getting to this like, this interesting of, this is going to just like become these people's personalities and teach them how to hate women. I don't know. I just find it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun fact, I sang Pork and Beans at
Hell
8th
yeah.
grade Battle of the Bands, circa 2011.
yeah.
See, that's good shit right
That's
there.
good shit right there. 2011. Only 2 years after this movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's all very insightful, Jeff. I'm glad you said all that.
It's just, I think this movie is deeply flawed in its construction, but I'm willing to give it a pass based on
how it's aged.
I think it's aged well, but also I think it just has interesting ideas that even if the execution isn't there
Yeah.
fully, the ideas kind of still come out on top for me.
I fairly much agree for the most part. Like, my thing is the whole structure part of the movie, and that is like watching the first half of this movie felt like kind of everything you were saying, Jeff, of just like I couldn't help but think it's like, God damn, like he really is playing an incel. And I'm like, were incels a thing back then? Like, obviously they were, but like it wasn't, like you said, Mac, like the zeitgeist term as it was. And I was watching like just all the patterns and stuff, and I'm like, I feel like I'm watching like a biopic of like one like infamous incel or something like that. It's even though this was kind of before that sort of time. So it was an interesting thread that I was tugging on a little bit, but yeah, the first act of this movie kind of held me on. same thing with what you said, Mac. I knew that it was gonna like there was gonna be like
Right.
the death,
It
and I was
really hammers home
Yeah.
that incel part like over and over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
sometimes to its detriment. I agree.
Yeah.
To the point where, again, I knew it was coming, but I was waiting for him to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because like
I need something else to happen right now.
I
you
think
know?
like
I need like a little more Robin characterization besides he wants to like get with the other teacher.
right. So I said we should rewind. So like his son is an incel, goes to school. He immediately calls women whores and says the F word.
Well, sir, you don't have
other
to say all
stuff.
this about me. Like, you can just get to go with the movie.
Sorry, let's go back to the movie. So Kyle Clayton. Anyway, yeah, Kyle Clayton is no better at school. He's just as bad at school. He has one friend, Andrew, who is just kind of like a shy boy. Who, you know, at any other context, be like, don't hang out with that kid, Andrew.
Andrew kind of
Right.
looks like if you like AI generated like 14-year-old like a school student. Like he like kind of
He does.
he has the
He has the
perfect
whole
look.
thing.
Andrew is the most sympathetic character in this entire movie.
He's
Yeah.
great.
He's great. Yeah.
His name is Troutman. What a great, what a good
Yeah.
last name.
How do you remember his last name? You can't remember.
I can't
the main
remember
characters'
Kyle
names?
Clayton, but
Yeah.
I somehow remember Andrew Troutman.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's just that Troutman is. I don't know why it just says like it's evocative in a way. You think
Yeah.
of a fisherman.
A fisherman.
He's not a fisherman,
He's a
but
trout man.
He's a trout.
what if he had just
Very
fucking walked in and he's got like a fish?
I would
Just
watch that
don't
movie.
acknowledge
I
it.
would watch that movie.
Well, and if you didn't think Kyle Clayton was incel enough, he shows up to school wearing camo cargo shorts. Just thought I wanted to point that one out there because I knew there'd be some people who would be like, come on. And he's just as bad at school. He like disrespects women. He like calls people names. He's kind of like, you can't even call him like, he's not like a bully. He's worse than a bully. Like I'd almost find him like more sympathetic if he showed up and he was like a jock at school and be like, oh, like he puts on this whole image that he's like this big tough guy at school when at home he's like jerking it off to old women or whatever. Like, but it doesn't do that. It's the same character at school, which was kind of like a lost opportunity in my book. But then he gets in a fight with another kid because he calls one of the other girls a slur, and then they get in a fight. Goes to the principal's office. This is where Robin Williams shows up. We established earlier that Robin is hooking up with another teacher at the school. Her name is
Not important.
Claire Reed, Mrs. Reed, played by Alexi Gilmore. And yeah, they're it's like a just casual thing. Like it's not out yet. Do you guys have any like teacher dating drama at your high schools?
Yes, big time. I actually don't know if I can say it.
Really?
Wow.
There's like a legal settlement involved. I'm not a part of the settlement.
Whoa,
To be clear,
Of course, you're not part of
but
it.
I don't know if I am like
Are you talking about like with a student?
yes.
Oh no! I just meant like teacher on teacher stuff,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I didn't
That's
mean
completely different.
That's
Yeah.
completely different.
We should get into that.
Yeah, we should get into that. Without using names.
There was a Spanish teacher at my high school.
It was a Spanish teacher at my school too. It's not
always,
dating a
it's
student.
always, the
God,
Spanish,
guys,
it's
what's
always the
going on?
Spanish teacher.
Yep.
A Spanish teacher who had an affair with the star basketball player at my school,
Fuck.
who is now a pro NBA player.
Whoa.
Oh, Jeff, I could find out who this is pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, you could easily find out who this is. And the school covered it up to help his career. This is a
Shout
true
out to
fact.
the school. I mean,
The true fact. This is a true fact.
Was he a senior when he in this?
Well, yes, he was a senior. The problem, I shouldn't say the problem, but the
Still inappropriate, of course.
the
not
reason
justified.
it got out is because he had nudes of her that he just started sending to everyone at the school.
What the fuck, man?
Seems like a pretty
And so
easy way to
pretty
get caught.
Easily, someone like another administrative character found out about it. Yeah, you guys could very easily figure out.
I will
people,
do this
but-
research off the air. But
Yeah,
thank you very much for filling us in on that, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
You like that one?
That's so crazy. I had no idea. Yeah,
I swear I've told you this before.
you may have.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. No, I was just talking about teacher on teacher romances because for me it was also the Spanish teacher at my school. She was the person that all like the male teachers were kind of, and then
Well, sir, you also grew up in like rural Indiana. So
yeah,
like,
exactly. Add that. I grew up in rural Indiana where, there's small pond. But I will say my one of my old choir directors, and they both aren't at that same school anymore, but the band director got married and now have 2 kids. So like, I don't know. I feel like now
I think that happens probably a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's a simple.
They're coworkers.
They're coworkers. It's going to be a pretty often occurring thing.
Guys, all 3 of us are dating coworkers.
yes, it's actually
Yep, that's very true.
Married, engaged.
very
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah.
The 3 levels.
The 3 levels. But anyway, but they are keeping it secret. Robin and his fling, Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Miss Reed. And so they're
When the movie starts, have they ever like actually had sex before?
no, but it's implied they have.
No, I'm trying to think like because she keeps like passing off his opportunity, like his attempts to like get a date going.
I think they have.
Have they?
I think they have.
Dude,
It
who calls somebody and goes, "Hello, Miss Reed. I'm going to put my penis in your vagina tonight."
Honestly, fair.
Yeah.
Great bit, by the way.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes you guys gotta say it straight.
Well, she says a line. It's like, yeah, you're gonna come over. I'm gonna make you some hot chili, and then I'm gonna fuck your brains out.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
So like they clearly have like had sex before. The whole like thread where she like passes him off. How do you guys feel about the whole coach gym coach teacher subplot? I was like not really feeling that at all.
I don't think we need that, but also I do like his sci-fi short story.
I think they could have made it better in a way.
Somehow
like,
related to the plot, like
I think what they were trying to do is that, okay, he's losing his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
She's interested in this other guy. He's cooler. He's a jock. And then when he starts to be successful, she comes back to him.
right.
And so everything's going well for him. I think that's what they're trying to do. But I don't think they really succeed that well in like I think she has to like cheat on him.
Well,
and I
it's
think you have to like know that.
The movie
know?
gives me the vibe that it's trying to create a parallel here that I never am quite able to connect. There was a scene that almost did it, which was when he's like, I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but like, are you seeing Mike, the gym teacher?
Mm-hmm.
And he quickly says, like, I know we never said we're exclusive or anything like that, but just, and then she gets mad at him and leaves. And like, if that was supposed to be a scene of like, my son is an incel who sees women as vaginas, and like now I'm sort of starting to see Miss Reed as like my property, kind of like not textually, surfacely, but like in a subtextual kind of way of like a no, she's mine kind of ordeal. And for him to like think on that and be like, oh wow, like I just kind of like I don't know.
I didn't really
I
see it
can't
like
even
that.
think of a way to like to make those two things merge. The point that I'm making is like whatever they were trying to parallel with the story, which is the vibe I get, they failed miserably at
He's
it.
just like a little bit jealous
Yeah.
of their
It's just a little
friendship, it seems, and it doesn't really hit. It doesn't.
because she can do what she wants.
Yeah, exactly. And he admits that right away.
Yeah.
And then again, like it's like, oh, I think it would have been great is when he sees them at the mall after she's canceled on him,
Yeah.
when he calls her, if she had lied to him about where she was,
Yeah. Yeah.
that would have been way better. And then
Yeah.
Robin's reeling, But she
Yeah.
like immediately just goes like, oh no, like,
I was with Mike.
he's having a bad day. Yeah.
Yeah. She immediately comes clean about it. So then there's no tension there.
Yeah.
There's no tension. It's like, oh, why did she lie? Like, yeah, I think that's exactly a good way to put it. All she would have needed to do was just lie in the phone call.
Yeah.
And it could have been like a benevolent lie. It could have been like, oh, well, I knew if I told you I was with Mike, you'd get jealous, but it truly wasn't because of anything like romantic or anything. I just didn't want you to overthink it, which I know you would, which is what you're doing right now, which speaks to another point. Why am I even worried about you overthinking it? We're not in a committed relationship. Like
This movie, I think in its pursuit to essentially just be like more comedic, cringe comedy, there's really not a lot of tension in the development. Like you're never feeling tense about like, is he going to get exposed?
Yeah.
Tension like, oh, is she cheating on him? It just kind of like things just kind of occur.
Keep going, but I have to add to your point. I have a thing to follow up with. But keep going.
Like the movie could just use a little more tightening in
the stakes.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, so to your point, Jeff, like the fact that it has the setups for some real tense moments, but no actual tension there because it cuts the string right away.
Yeah.
That dinner scene where the three of them all go out to dinner and he starts taking pictures of Miss Reed underneath the table.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my God, like that's going to fucking blow up. And the following 5 minutes, he dies.
Yeah.
So it's like, so right away, right there, it's like cut the string. Like there's no point in the movie later where she like, well, hold on a second. What did he text Andrew? Let me see his phone. What are these photos? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's none of that. There's none of like any opportunity the movie has to like pull on any tension whatsoever. It just cuts it right away. It's like, he's taking inappropriate pictures of the teacher under the table. We're not going to worry about it because he dies in the next scene. And Rob Williams is going to find the pictures and delete them all. So it's like, well, then why were you even setting that up then? Like, it just makes no sense. It doesn't add to the fact that Robin cares about making his son's death look slightly more noble. Like, it doesn't add to that at all. So, like, why did you even put it in the movie then? I don't know. I'm kind of hating this movie more now.
No,
It is not a good movie, guys.
That's really where I like the movie has it's more than the sum of its parts to me. Because
I agree.
because I think it's lacking in tension, but it kind of makes up with it more with just the tension kind of just between you as the viewer and Robin is where the tension also ultimately comes from. We're just like, don't go any deeper on this, buddy. And he's like, oh, come on. But if there's more tension in the surrounding story, like this is a very similar setup to like an Uncut Gems type deal, where it's a guy who's in deep and keeps doubling down.
Yeah, but okay.
Well,
But there's
When you're like,
there's
oh,
no
don't go
threat.
any deeper on this, Robin. I don't know. Because for me, I'm like, just fucking stay with it.
Yeah.
At this point, you've got everything you've wanted. There's no reason to go back.
Yeah.
And the movie fails to give an explanation.
You know, it's a movie that really does so much better at like creating the threads of tension and pulling them taut. Mrs. Doubtfire.
What a picture.
That's a movie that like sets up the strings of tension and pulls them taut. Like those are like his kids find out. You need to keep this a secret, but also not tell your younger sister. The wife is starting to date Pierce Brosnan. I fucking hate that guy, but he is a good guy though, so it really makes me really mad.
But he was really good in James
I have to go. He has really good at James Bond. I have to go to this dinner with my boss as Robin Williams, but then I have to go to the same restaurant, same dinner with my family as Mrs. Doubtfire, and I have to somehow make the two work. That's like a great way of. Or the social worker is coming over to my apartment where I'm disguised as Mrs. Doubtfire, but she's coming to see Robin Williams, so I have to like. That's yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking about a good movie. I'm just talking about a good movie at this point.
This past week, Beck and I we went on a road trip to New Orleans, and while we were in Louisiana, we stayed 2 nights with her aunt and uncle, and their grandkids were there, and her aunt put
I love the way you say aunt.
Mrs. Doubtfire on
Aunt.
aunt, but
How do you say it? Do you say aunt, aunt?
but she put Mrs. Doubtfire on. My favorite part of the whole weekend was like his 10-year-old cousin watching Mrs. Doubtfire and being like, bro, he mad sus. And it was one of the funniest things I have ever heard in my life was that kid saying that.
And
about
you were
Mrs.
like,
Dad.
yeah, he is bad sus.
I was like, he is sus. This is like, it was like during a scene that was not meant to be like, it was like during an earnest scene of the movie too.
Oh.
It was like, it wasn't during like one of his like scenes. It was like a scene with him and the kids, and he's like, "We mad sus." It's so fucking funny.
Was it like the kind of cousin like that's cap, bro?
Not like almost there, like kind of getting to that.
Ohio.
What?
Isn't that a Gen Z thing? They say Ohio now.
If they say Ohio, I don't know. I cannot be
I'm
bothered.
so disconnected from it now. Anyway, back to World's Greatest Dad. So the son gets in a fight, goes to the principal's office. Robin Williams goes there too, and he gives the kid a talking to, and then Kyle leaves the office, and then it's the principal played by we've met this actor before many a times.
Have we?
I feel like we have Jeff Pearson. He's in shit. He plays a principal, good principal character, good authority actor, and he's basically saying like, hey, I think your son might need to go to a special needs school because he's like flunking all his classes and he's acting out. And Robin's like, my son's not special. Like,
So we're not here to hate, but we've never covered this guy before.
well, I'm sure you've seen him in shit though. Like,
He plays the vice president in Get Smart.
interesting.
So that's the one movie that I've also seen him.
But so anyway, yeah. And then he also says, oh, and by the way, because attendance in your poetry class is really low, if we don't get those numbers up by like next semester, I'm going to have to drop your class, which doesn't seem to also mean he would get fired, but that's what I infer.
That's the implication.
I infer that, but the movie doesn't make
I kind of pictured it as like, oh, he probably teaches like a regular English class as well.
That's the other thing that I'm thinking too, Mac.
You
It's
know,
like,
in high school, I didn't have, like if you wanted to take a poetry class, you probably could, but that
teacher would
be-
also probably be teaching English
like,
lit.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I assumed he was just doing both.
Yeah, they got him on payroll just to teach the one
The
three
three kids,
The
yeah.
three kids. Like, come on, our education system is not that good. Like, come on.
He would have been fired well before that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my issue. Is
There's
like,
also like a weird, talking about high school logistics. It seems like anybody can just take whatever class they want.
At any time.
Yeah, they could just leave one class and go to another
they
class.
just drop out of creative writing and
The
start going to
creative
his
writing
class.
teachers was like, hey, have you guys seen these kids? And it was like, yeah, they're here today.
They're in the other class.
Yeah, right. And they just go to the other class.
Like there's a whole like bureaucratic process if you want to do that.
Absolutely.
You gotta go to
You can't do that.
the office and say, hey, I'd like to transition to class. Well, it's too late in the
And this is not a
semester.
thing you can I can suspend my disbelief. This is everybody in America has been to high school.
Yeah, everybody
they
knows
know
you have,
how it works.
You have the first like 2 week of ad drop like grace period,
Sure.
and then after that, if you drop out of class, you have to take a withdrawal like grade for it. So like, yeah, I can't really picture that one either. But that also again goes to the credit or discredit of the movie for getting these opportunities to set up any ounce of tension that it doesn't. Like, tell us he's going to lose his job if the poetry class doesn't get more students. Tell us that, because then we'll feel even more tense when people start coming to his class because of the journals. Like,
Is he even passionate about poetry?
I
Does
don't-
he care about this class? I
no.
don't even think he does.
I don't think he does. I don't think he cares about poetry.
They make it seem in the second act like it's like one of the benefits that he's getting is that his class is popular.
Yeah.
But even when his class is popular, they're all saying poems about his son that he hates.
Yeah, and because there was one class. It's like, well, tell us a poet that Kyle really liked. Well, he really liked Emily Dickinson. Who's Emily Dickinson? Is she hot? Well, she's Victorian, so like kind of good joke, but like, but again, like to that point, it's like there is no good poetry scene. Like it's all bits for jokes. Like when the one like black student comes up and gives his like he starts reading off his poem, and then Robin's like, "Would anybody else like to read their haiku?" And like,
Right. It would have been, again, turning back to Good Will Hunting. how awesome would it have been if his character really cared about poetry?
Or like Dead Poet Society. Yeah.
Or sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, not
No, yeah.
Dead
but
Poet
I get you.
Society.
Yeah, like
and then that again would raise the stakes. It was like, damn, I'm gonna lose my class. What if you had one kid in that class who also really needed that class?
yeah, because
He didn't have anybody who cared about it. He didn't care about it.
Like,
Why does it matter?
it could have
at
been
all?
Andrew. It could have been Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew could have been taking his
Mr.
class.
Trout.
Miss Troutman. It could have been Troutman taking his class and actually enjoying it and reading good poetry. Like, and it's another thing the movie could have easily done, where it's like, rather than just these journals and writings and letters, make them poems. Because maybe, he's a poetry teacher and he finds his son dead. What's the first thing he thinks to do? And it's write a suicide note. Maybe it's a poem. Maybe people think, because like, it makes more sense of why he's a rejected author if all he's sending are these like poems, because like nobody's gonna fucking pick up poems anymore. Like, we know that, like, we as the general audience know, it's like, if you're trying to be a poem, sending your poems to like big publishers to get published or whatever, like, good fucking luck, man. But he sent like 9 novels and like none of them gets picked up. He must be a shitty writer then, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, like, but that doesn't connect to me, because then he writes a suicide note and it's all of a sudden, and I get because it's got the social context of his son being like kind of a martyr figure, but it's like, obviously the suicide note must have been kind of good. Otherwise it wouldn't have landed with people. So I am so confused at like what his skills are, what he's good at, what he's not good at, what his ultimate goals are. Like, I understand his character very well, but I don't necessarily buy into anything that the movie is setting us up for. I don't know if that makes sense, but just the poetry literature bit really bothers me now, because it's like, why even set that up if there's not going to be any poetry payoff?
It is to set that he's a good writer.
But he's not, because he's written 9 novels and none of them get accepted.
Yeah. But like, he understands like the
Structure?
the academic form of writing.
Sure.
Sure.
Also, when we do get to the suicide note, we only hear like about like a sentence of it.
Yeah.
And the sentence itself is not
Fantastic.
well written. It's not, there's no imagery in it, It's not anything that you would expect out of a creative writer. And then you're just told to believe that this suicide note is so well written that it's changing
It's the
people's
best
lives.
thing ever.
Yeah.
I think we should just get to the suicide.
I think that the writers of this movie could not write what they wanted in a suicide. So they're just like, we're just not going to show it,
just
which
don't
is
have to.
so fucking lazy.
I do think we should just get to the suicide. I
think so too. I think so too. Because like, we can really hammer away the first act of this movie. But the only things that we would, because we pretty much set up all the bits.
Yeah.
The son is going to get sent to a special needs school if his grades don't come up and if he starts acting better. The poetry class is going to get discontinued or disbanded if we don't get more poetry. And he's having relationship issues with his partner, who he thinks is seeing the gym teacher. Those are the 3 things that Act 1 of World's Greatest Dad sets up. Now, when the tipping point is when he goes to Miss Reed and Miss Reed blew him off 3 times. And finally she's like, this is one of my favorite jokes in the movie. She's like, well, let's go somewhere where we can really show ourselves to the world, where we can really display ourselves to everybody. I know. Let's go to Outback Steakhouse.
The Outback Steakhouse joke is great. But you know what sucks? They don't go to Outback
Steakhouse.
It's like an Italian restaurant.
Oh my
I was
God. But
very
I
upset.
tell you, I cackled when she said that. I was like, best joke in the fucking movie right there.
Absolutely.
It's just the delivery of it is so good. But no, so then they do go out, and I think it's Miss Reed's idea to invite Robin's son, right? I think it's
Well, he's like, oh,
I was supposed to do something
supposed
with-
to go out with my son.
supposed to go out with my son. Yeah. And then he
It's like, oh, bring him along.
bring him along.
And I hate Robin for being like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. Like,
Talk about the most like
it's like, dude, this is a bad idea.
You do get the vibe, like, which I think the movie does do well of setting up. He does love his son
Yeah.
in spite of everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's the part where he
He
brings
wants
like
his son to be,
he wants his son to be happy, and like,
yeah.
I do think this is like an interesting concept that I don't think the movie's overall interested in delving into. But like the idea of like you can unconditionally love your son or love your child and do your absolute best to raise them, and they can still turn out like this. And the tension of that is like a really interesting thing that the movie I just don't think is very interested in getting into.
Yeah.
I don't think it does a lot
Yeah.
to try to establish that Robin is really trying to be a good father. Although it does have moments.
I think even like less of trying to be a good father, he like just loves his son. Like I don't think he's even trying to be a good father. He just like still loves his son because he's his son. Like he puts the picture up every time. He brings him food.
At the end, in the final monologue, we're bouncing around at this point.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get back to the linear structure of this. He does say, "None of you guys like my son. I didn't like him either.
Yeah.
but I loved him."
Yeah.
Which is exactly the like. You gotta love something so much it hurt. No, I don't know.
No. So anyway, he brings his son to the dinner,
Yes,
and
this is when we get the most psychopathic fucking take of this movie. The type of occurrence that like should send you to the Arkham Asylum immediately. When he's like, "I love Willy Wonka," and she says, "I prefer Johnny Depp." To Gene Wilder. To be clear, I'm not a hater of the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. I think the movie's fine. It's like watchable. But like let's be serious. let's be
let's not beat around the bush though. Like you're a fucking psychopath if you think the Johnny Depp version is better than the Gene Wilder version. So they talk about movies, and I guess like Kyle's like somewhat trying to behave. Like he doesn't.
He's just taking pictures of.
But then he drops his phone, sees up Miss Reed's skirt, and then decides to take
he goes,
like
"Awooga."
panty photos. And then you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and to nobody's benefit. And there's like, I don't even know what the movie was trying to do with this one bit where he's like, "So, do you fuck my dad?" And Rob Williams is like, "Kyle, come on." And she's like, "Every night." It's like, I'm hurting right now. Like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, that's interesting. Like maybe that's going to be something that we'll like talk on maybe a little bit later. Like maybe she actually like could actually bond with this kid, maybe help him a little bit.
Maybe he's going to have a little bit more respect for his dad.
Doesn't matter because what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, it's going to throw it all down the I think that is probably the main negative anchor of this movie, is because any ounce of a semblance of growth you see in Kyle's character, we know as the audience, or actually we don't really know because we only know until after the fact. But it's like the movie's way of trying to tell you, it's like, see, he can maybe get a little better. He can maybe start to talk to his dad. He can maybe stop calling women whores and saying the F word and saying the R word and like all this. Maybe he can get a little bit better. But you're not going to really get to know because we're killing him in the next scene. It's like, so like, that's like and it's the number one problem anchor of this negative anchor of this movie is because it drags the whole thing down. Any good scene, whether it's good or bad, that shows that he could have a semblance of growth, it all gets crushed when you know it's like, well, it's
the next scene after dinner before he kills himself.
Yeah.
Where he drops him off.
Yeah. Are you going to fuck her tonight?
And this is obviously Kyle's best way at trying to connect with his dad.
Yeah.
Obviously flawed.
As gross and as disgusting as it is.
It's
yeah.
But Robin doesn't give him a chance. He's like, fucking go to bed, dude. Like, I'll be right back. Yeah. I'm not going to fuck her. I'll be right home.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
it doesn't let you have that moment.
I liked what you said, Mac. You said as gross and as awful as it is the best semblance of him and his dad actually bonding.
Yeah.
But is not like the idea that there is no like growth in Kyle. Like he's just kind of a shithead and he's not going to get better.
Jeff, I agree with you. the movie does not agree with you. That's my problem.
I think the movie kind of does agree with me.
No, I don't think it
I don't think the
does.
movie's interested in
Then why
making
give us
Kyle seem
any
like a nice
scene where it's like showing that he can somewhat get better? Because like I don't. Well, first off, for us to litigate this, we'd first have to litigate: are there scenes in this movie that try to play the case of Kyle could get better? My case is yes. There are scenes in the movie. You don't think there are?
I don't really think there are. I think like even the scene, like the best you can get out of Kyle is like he wants his dad to like get railed tonight.
That's just him trying to bond with his
which
dad.
is like
It's something.
He
It's
is,
something.
yeah.
like it's something, but at
Absolutely, it's the most candid he talks with his dad in the entire movie. But to both of your points, like that does exist, but also the movie doesn't give a shit because directly after that, he's not a character in the movie anymore.
yeah,
Right.
He's wiped out. Well, no,
Because-
he'll pop up as a ghost a few times.
Oh my god,
Because he drops Kyle off. Kyle does the thing where
worst
it's like,
montage
you gonna
I've ever
fuck her tonight, man? You gonna fuck her? She's like, no, that's gross. Go to bed. Go to bed. He kisses her goodnight, and then he walks back inside the house. He opens the bedroom door, and we get the same shot for shot. Like, they probably shot it the same day, the fake out and the real death scene.
yeah.
Likely. But he opens the door, and we don't see his POV of him. We just see Robin look and be like, oh, Kyle, I told you not to do that anymore. And then there's a pause, and then he turns around. He noticed Kyle isn't moving. And then that's when Robin and us as the audience know what has happened. Kyle has died through autoerotic asphyxiation. It's hard not to chuckle when I say that phrase out loud. I'm sorry. But no, like the scene that plays out is very dramatic.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Robin plays it well.
Robin,
Absolutely.
I've never seen Robin played destroyed as much as this. Like he's really pouring his guts and soul out in this scene. Like he's just sobbing and weeping and in the fetal position in his bedroom. Like it's a really tough scene to watch. And like for anybody who has either like gone through experiences of loved ones taking their own lives or has had ideations or thoughts, like well, let me ask you guys, is this a movie you would lightly recommend to people who you innately know?
Lightly?
Well, that's my question, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not saying you should never recommend this to people who you know have had like suicide ideation in the past, but like, you know, because there's some people who you know have grown beyond that and grown much past it. But on a surface level, is this a movie you would recommend to people in that kind of headspace? No.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
That's my only point that I was just trying to make is like, if you're somebody who's listened to this episode and like you've had thoughts of suicide, or if you have a experience of people, loved ones who've taken their lives in the past, this is not a movie we would lightly recommend because, you know, it does get really raw and really emotional on that front just for this one scene. Heck, if you're really dying to watch this movie, skip this scene. The rest of the movie doesn't ever go back to this emotional space ever
Yeah.
again. This
Yeah.
is the only pit of despair.
This is the best scene in the movie, though.
But it almost doesn't belong. I mean, it does, but it almost doesn't. Maybe that could be just me, but like, because I agree, it is the best scene of the movie to the point where it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just.
I like how he, you know, when someone passes, like you're looking for answers, and I like that he does look for answers, and all he gets is like
porn.
nude pictures. He was jacking off to pictures of Claire.
yeah.
And Robin is just like so like enveloped in his grief, and just doesn't want his son to be remembered for what he was, that he can quickly concocts a suicide.
Yeah, everything that plays out in this scene is believable and understandable.
Yes.
Which is a credit to the movie for setting it up in a way that we totally buy what happens. So he takes his son down from like the little configuration of like the rope, and then he looks at his computer, sees all the pictures. he erases all of it. Then he types up a suicide note. Did you guys catch that when he prints it and he pulls out the sheet, it's like a quarter of a page?
Yeah.
It's like not a long note
Yeah.
at all. I just thought.
Well, the rest is in invisible ink.
I didn't clock that.
I was like, what? Okay. But yeah, it's a very short note, which like, hey, like, you know, that's the thing. And then the most like graphic part is he then has to like, he puts away the tissue and the lotion. Movie has to show us that there's tissue
This
and
is
lotion.
when I like kind of start nervously chuckling to myself.
Yeah, me too.
Because I
a
am
little
like,
bit.
oh, I see where we're going with this.
It's like buttoning up his pants.
But his pants, his cargo shorts, he's zipping it all up. And then he picks up his son and then like
hangs him in a closet.
hangs him in a closet and then tucks the note on his like hoodie. And then like the next day, and then he calls the police. And then an ambulance shows up.
Then we get the grief montage.
Yes.
Which has, I think, the most successful joke of this movie. Which is the most successful, but the hardest I laughed. Is he's just like in the doldrums of despair. And like we see him just like walking around and crying. And then he sees a bunch of like nudie magazines.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the
Oh,
newsstand.
yeah.
And he just like starts crying looking at the nudie magazines because they remind him of his son. And I wrote down the names of the magazines because they were Squirters XXX.
Oh yeah, what
Ass
was it?
School.
Ass School. Yeah,
Ass School and Big and Wet.
that's good stuff. Fun fact: the guy who plays the newsstand guy who just like hugs him, kinda. Chris Novoselic, bassist for Nirvana,
Oh yeah.
non-actor. Cameo for that.
Wow.
I truly wonder if he was just like walking by on the street in Seattle and they filmed this.
Yeah.
They just put him in.
Did they film it in
They
Seattle?
filmed this in Seattle.
Oh, then yeah, that makes sense. He's from Washington. He's a politician now. I looked up his.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
he created his own party in Seattle.
What's the name of the party?
I don't remember,
I'm looking it up.
The Nirvana party.
or he attempted to at least. I don't know. I read an interview with him from 3 years ago. But
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the movie The Holiday?
Is that a Jack Black in
It's
it?
the Jack Black,
Long time
Cameron
ago.
Diaz, Kate Winslet rom-com.
Long
about
time ago. I don't remember
Christmas.
anything.
There's a part in the movie where Jack Black is like walking through a music store and he's like pointing out all the he likes movie music and he's like, oh, Jaws, and he's like da 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 da, and then randomly he picks up the Graduate soundtrack and like kind of starts yelling, and then Dustin Hoffman's like looking at music and he looks over like pissed. And it's like a funny gag, you know?
that sounds like a good bit.
And you're like,
yeah.
oh, funny gag. And then you read like Dustin Hoffman's just walking down the street and came across the set of the movie. And they're like, Dustin, we will do this joke if you want. And he's like, okay. So they like, it truly is he stumbled across the set and they threw him in.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And I was just reminded with my hypothesis that maybe Kurt was just walking down the street. Good bit. The coziest movie ever made, if you are ever in the need of coziness.
Good. But then we cut to, I don't know how long it's been. We established that he took some time off work.
Yes.
But the next following scene is he's showing back up to the school. Principal tells him, hey, we're glad to have you back. Sorry what happened.
If you need more time.
If you need more time, no one would fault you for it. He's like, no, it's all good. And then he walks into the school and everybody's kind of looking at him and, you know, like it's like the elephant in the room, basically. Then he goes to the principal's office and there's a therapist there. Something that I am missing in this movie, and maybe because I wasn't paying close attention or not. When did the note like actually get like widespread? I think I missed that moment
Robin Williams decides to publish it in the paper.
in the school paper. Okay.
Yeah. I think he decides to, Jeff.
It gets published against Robin's will.
Oh, okay.
Robin doesn't like, they tell Robin it's being published in the school paper. And he's like, oh boy. And then everyone has an emotional reaction to it. I like this, even though the sequence looks like it was made like using like iMovie. I do like the idea of it that they're all visualizing their own Kyle.
Yeah.
I remember that his name is Kyle.
Very good.
This montage is too long.
It goes on for a bit, but I like that like you see the goth girl and she envisions a goth Kyle. The counselor envisions Kyle comforting him.
Not all of them are that on the nose though. Some
Yeah.
of them he's just kind of standing there.
So some of them he's
You
just
know?
lurking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But it's too long, dude. All of the montages in this movie are a full like 4 minute song.
yeah, you could
Yeah.
cut this bad boy down a bit, but for what I like the idea that it's going for of everybody reads this note, and it's Robin wrote like a very vague note because it's like it's not like I did it because this happened. It's like nobody knew who me. I was a real person. My dad was great. Don't worry about him. It's like very vague, and the vagueness is what allows everybody to attach themselves to it and start seeing Kyle as like their best friend from the grave
Yeah.
when they didn't care about him when he was alive.
The goth girl one like firstly establishes that idea, and I think it would have been great if they every single part of this montage, even if it was a lot shorter,
yeah.
hit as hard like the goth girl
Yeah.
did. I mean, like, oh, he was like one of us. Like, oh, this was kind of hardcore, you know?
Yeah. Because he shows up to school after the paper gets published. And I guess the paper got published because Robin showed it to the counselor, right? And the counselor was the one who was like, this should be on the, I just don't remember how that got connected, but regardless. So he walks into school the next day and everyone's coming up to him and is like, oh my God, like your son just like, I felt like he knew me and I knew him or whatever.
It's
like,
the exact opposite of the reception he gets when he walks in like the day before.
yeah, exactly.
Where nobody wants to look him in the eyes and they're all kind of just moving out of the way.
Yeah. Whereas, and we get like a montage bit of this too, because like he's walking in, at some point he starts crying in the hallway and the entire school like gives him a big hug, which like, I will give the movie some credit. Haunting image.
Yeah.
Like just the idea of that like massive fake symphony like enveloping you can almost be like more suffocating than helping at times. I don't know. I just really like that image really struck me of like the entire school like hugging him, but not seeing that as like a good thing really.
Because the opening line of the movie is Robin saying like, my biggest fear has always been like dying alone.
Yeah.
Or being alone.
Yeah.
And this is his, like he's crying because he like feels like he's not alone anymore. But it's like it's a false emotion.
Yeah.
But to him in the moment, it's real. And then this is when the movie just kind of kicks into overdrive and just like he's famous.
Yeah. Cause we're over the halfway mark, I think, at this point. We have like maybe 30 minutes left in the movie, which is crazy that like it took that long to get us to like what I think is supposed to be the main crux of the movie. It took like an hour to get there. It took a majority of the movie to get there. It almost would have been better if like we started off the very first scene with him dying and then spent the entire movie establishing who he really was as a character. Could have been interesting and unique that way, but whatever. So now, yeah, all the kids are like coming to him. There's like a jock who says, reading your son's suicide note made me realize I was gay. That's in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it didn't make him realize that he was gay, but it made him. He says like I came out. I'm gay. I don't want to.
Says he.
I don't
okay.
want to. It made him kind of accepted himself maybe, but like also, be like I don't want to live a lie anymore. I just want to be happy.
Don't want to
you
live a
know?
lie anymore is the key phrase. Key
This
line.
is like peak cringe stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like Scott's Tots-esque cringe occurring.
Because then I'm starting to check out at this point in the movie because I have lost the thread of where we're supposed to be going now because I don't know, like a lot of this seems to be stuff happening to Robin.
Yeah.
Robin is a very passive character in
Yes.
this movie.
He's reactive, not proactive.
Yeah. And so like a lot of stuff just happens to him, which makes me as an audience member feel very passive watching this movie because like I'm just waiting for more stuff to happen to him. And it's at this point where so much stuff is happening to him that I am kind of just like checked out
Yeah.
because the next thing I remember are the journals. But I'm sure there's stuff that happens in between that I'm just forgetting.
It's
like,
just the same thing, just drags on.
yeah, right.
You know?
I do like how how ridiculous some people's connection to Kyle becomes. Like the T-shirts that they start, like it becomes very Save Ferris.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one picture of him.
The one photo they have of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the one photo that he kept putting down whenever he would jerk off or masturbate or something.
Because like there's the kid who's like, I don't want to live a lie anymore. I'm going to come out. I think it might be the same kid, or it's a kid who looks similar. Is like in the bathroom about to shoot up, and then he like is he's like, Kyle wouldn't want me to do that, and doesn't, which is like,
when I saw that, that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do we think he was doing heroin or like steroids, maybe? Or
I'm guessing heroin would be my guess.
Just insert drugs.
It's like
just intravenous
insert
drugs
generic.
that he just like decides to like just squirt onto the floor instead.
Yeah, 'cause he's like, Kyle wouldn't want me to do that, which does raise.
I was like, maybe it's steroids if he was like kind of like a jock dude.
Yeah.
But either way, it really threw me off, that one.
It does raise the kind of like
it should have been a different kid. It should have been another kid.
It should not have been the
It
same
should have
guy.
been a different kid.
But
because we never established that.
I think like the movie never asks this question, but I ask this question watching the movie, like, after Robin exposes everything at the end, what happens to these people who like had made Kyle such a foundational part of their...
What happens to a lot of ex-cultists when their cult leader
exactly
gets
like
defamed?
I almost like wish the movie had a little more post-text. Because I wonder, like, the kid who just was comfortable coming out as gay because of this,
yeah,
like, what happens to him when like
He comes out as gay, and then that's the same kid who
Yeah.
at the end was like, I was gonna kill myself.
yeah
Maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was about to like OD or something.
or
like
something.
that. But he was like,
this movie needed more cheese, more camp, and way through, because you mentioned the goth girl seeing like the goth version of him.
yeah.
This movie needed all of that. Like it should have had like Kyle Clayton when the kid's about to shoot up drugs. You should have seen like a hand come over his wrist, and the kid looks up and he sees Kyle, and he just kind of smiles at him. He's like, just nods no, and it's like
I think
it's
it needs
so
more-
corny and
More
cheesy.
clicky high school shit.
Yeah. Or it's like the kid who is like nervous about coming out, and it's like Kyle looks at him and like grabs his hand and it's just like, it's okay. Like, just like, it needs that like corniness. It needs that like, to be like,
bring back Ghost Kyle.
bring back Ghost Kyle. Like, this movie needed so much more Ghost Kyle.
Yeah.
And that's not a phrase I would really say lightly about a movie, is bring back more ghost of dead character.
Yeah.
But like, this movie did need it a lot.
Well, it's not really ghost. It's like
Vision.
people's ideas of him.
Because then you see like Robin's Ghost Kyle is the real Kyle, which is like the grotesque Kyle. Like Robin would turn around
would
in
be
a corner
cool, too,
and he
if-
would just see Ghost Kyle fucking stroking it off. And it's like, oh God. Like,
But then Robin smiles. You know?
yeah, like there's something, but like the movie doesn't do any of that. It's just you're spending all this time just stuck with Robin's POV, which is I almost hate to say, but it's like not that interesting anymore, because again, it's all stuff that just happens to him. The next thing I remember are the journals bit. The high school teacher at some point gets involved because like Robin says like, oh, and I think he might have written some journals.
Yeah.
Or it was the counselor.
the
Counselor says, are there any more writings of Kyle? And Robin decides, this is the first active thing he does.
He's like, yes.
Yes. He lies and he says, yes, I think he has a journal. I have to go look for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he spends his time writing, and the first person he shows it to is Miss Reed.
Yeah.
She also asks. She was like, did he write anything else? Because I would love to read that. Like she like kind of imagines it herself. But
Yes. And there's another moment where this movie could have made interesting, but doesn't, is when they are reading the stuff together, because he says, what's the title of this journal? And he says, nobody knew me, or something like that, right?
He says, I am what I hate.
And she
is his
says,
pitch.
I don't like that.
Yes, that's a bad title.
And he says, well, but it's his title.
Yeah.
And she says, I know, but like, what do you think he would have really titled? You know what? It's like, and it's interesting.
It's immediately like
commercialized.
co-opting
Yeah.
his
It's
words.
like, oh, I'm part of this now.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's kind of like she's doing the thing that Robin is fully doing.
Yeah.
But like thinking that she's doing like kind of like a harmless thing. It's like, well, maybe we just change the title to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is all Kyle stuff. That's very good. But like, maybe
Also-
we just change the title. Like,
I mean, whatever they change it to, not as good as I Am What I Hate. I
That's actually a good title.
I Am What I
Yeah,
Hate.
yeah.
It's a good title. Yeah.
But also it's like kind of a negative title.
Yeah.
Whereas You Don't Know Me is so to go with like the
It's
Suicide-
so vague.
It's so
Yeah.
vague, so you can put anything onto that.
Yeah. And it could have added more to the fact of like, this is the writing that gets Robin popular. Like this vague, nonsensical
cliche,
bullshit, like
fucking,
cliche
you
stuff. Like that's another thread the movie could have tugged on, but it
where he's
doesn't
like,
really.
Where he's like, damn, like I kind of just churned this out in one night.
yeah. It's like it's just kind of like he's not doing this out of like a passion really. He's just doing it out of like, you know, like he wants to make his son look somewhat good. But then the journal goes wide and everybody's reading it and he gets even more popular. The next thing I remember is the talk show. And I'm sure I'm skipping stuff, but again, like this is the
journal.
pace.
The journal goes wide, and then notably, even before the talk show, Robin starts to get everything that he wanted. The teacher friend dismisses the gym teacher.
Oh, and she kisses him in the
Yeah.
teacher's
Yeah.
lounge in front of everybody. Yeah.
Their
Front of God and
relationship
everybody.
is public now, and his poetry class has all the kids in it now.
Yep.
That's from the journal. It's not from the suicide note.
Yep.
It's a post journal.
Another note I wrote during this poetry class is there's the one kid. He's like, so I don't have any questions. And like the one who's like, did the boy know Jesus before he went?
Yeah.
Kyle was
Right.
more of an agnostic, but spiritual.
They're only asking questions about Kyle. Yeah, they don't have any questions about Emily Dickinson or whoever they're talking about.
Sometimes you just like find the perfect phrasing for a joke in a movie, and I always want to hype. Like, did the boy know Jesus before he went? Is the funniest possible way to say that exact idea. Like, could have been, was he a believer? Like, but like, did the boy know Jesus? Like a kid of his same age and social class status.
I bet you they thought of that line like late, you know. But would have been nice to have the Jesus kid in that montage earlier, you know.
Jesus Kyle.
Yeah,
Jesus kid,
pious Kyle.
Yeah.
Jesus kid is the one who tries to pass off Under Pressure as his poetry earlier in the movie, which is funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't think you know that one. And he goes, I'm very white.
Yeah.
I know Under Pressure.
Yeah, so everything is working out in his favor, but of course something's missing. Like he doesn't quite feel like he has everything. Like that's, you know,
The lead up to the talk show, I think he's starting to understand that his girlfriend is like not everything he ever wanted. You know, she's like changing her outfit a billion times, and she's like kind of image obsessed, and that's the most I can read into why
scene.
Robin comes out at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everything that I wanted, not all it cracked up to be. You know? The kids in his poetry class all fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know? Although it is really the main thing right before the talk show. He gets offered the book deal that he's wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what has all of this been for?
yeah.
And it's you just publish the journal and they say, we think it'll be the
Well, they say they want to do one of your books too.
Oh, do they say that?
Yeah.
I missed that.
It's like,
Oh, I missed that too.
yeah. Actually, it's after the talk show. He does the talk show, and then he's walking into the library commencement or whatever naming.
Yeah.
And the guy's there, and he's like, I got these 3 guys.
I remember this.
They want to do that book, and they want to publish one of your books as well. Which, again, you don't need to put that in there, because all it does is serve to be like, why is Robin doing this at the end? And why
Yeah.
is he giving it all away?
because
That happens, and then the kid's like, I was gonna kill myself, but I didn't because of you, essentially.
you need a beat.
So it's like, okay, you're getting everything you wanted. the things that you're doing are actually helping people.
Yeah.
And like the interesting question the movie, like on the loosest sense raises is like, is it better for good things to happen because of a lie or for the truth to prevail? And I think the movie's not really interested in delving into that too much because Robin just makes the decision.
The truth to prevail helps nobody.
Yeah.
At that point in the movie, you're like, the lie is helping people. Run with it. And then what? I don't. Yeah. Again.
But I think that's the interesting like moral thing the movie's like trying to engage with, but it's not really interested in really like that's
it doesn't explore it very well.
A genuinely interesting idea of like, is it better to like in this exact scenario? Is it better like the lie is helping people? Should we preserve it, or is that fundamentally wrong because it's a lie? Like, should the truth be the truth even if it hurts? And the movie is just not really compelled by the aftermath of
because
this.
Up until this point, Robin doesn't seem to feel bad about what he's doing whatsoever.
You need some
and if he's feeling bad about it the whole time, and it's like, oh, it's not all it's cracked up to be, but then he gets the justification for it at the end where it's like, oh, this kid was going to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, maybe what I'm doing is actually a good thing. That's way more interesting than him not giving a shit the whole time and things are just turning out well for him.
Yeah.
And he's also like, I don't, this girl's not, this is not all I wanted. Doesn't really matter if at the end of the day it's helping this one kid.
Yeah.
And he's getting his book, which the very first line of the movie is like, I wanted to publish a book.
Mm-hmm.
Robin needs to like go through more of a journey in the second act.
Yeah.
Of realizing that like of feeling guilt. And how that's portrayed, I'm not like 100% sure.
I think
one. It just
one of the same girl that he called a whore in the first act comes up and tells him that reading your son's memoir reminded me that, that I should be like, that it's powerful to be a woman or something very like feminist. And Robin, and like, I'm just guessing here, but I feel like you'd all agree that like Robin's character's reception to that would be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
no. Like, cause, and that would be an
That's the tipping point where he's like,
right?
all right,
like,
none of you guys fucking understand what this is about.
Right. It's like, I could see how much your son cared about like feminism. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Time out.
Just the one thing that's like absolutely against his character.
Right. It's like, nope. That's enough. That's it. You guys all got it wrong. You didn't know Kyle. You wanted to send him to special needs school. You didn't think that the title was good. You didn't think all that was good. All of you guys who say you guys liked him, you're all bullshitting yourselves. None of you know him. None of you liked him. I didn't even like him. But he was my son and I loved him. That's your climax right there. Like,
yes. He needs justification for what he's doing.
Yeah.
He has no reason to do it.
Because
he only has reasons to not do what he's doing. They give him right before he does it.
Yeah.
They give him more reasons to not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when he gets back from the book deal and the talk show, they're going to they have like a little
They're gonna name the library after
Yeah, it's the library
his son.
naming
It's gonna
thing.
be
It's
Kyle whatever.
Clayton
Yeah.
Memorial Library or whatever. But you're right, Mac. It's like I just posed one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
One line of dialogue
Would have changed a whole bunch about this movie for me.
Right. It's just like and I think like your son stood for, the primacy of education in our institutions and equality amongst all and feminism. And it's like, hold the fucking phone. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like you gotta beef up the lie that it becomes okay. Because you said it best, Jeff. It's like the movie tiptoes around the interesting subject of is it better to preserve a lie that has a better outcome or have the truth prevail even though a worse outcome might prevail. And I think like the movie, first off, movie doesn't stake its claim. Movie doesn't decide because him revealing is not an answer to that question because we don't get the result. Like you said, we don't get any post-text of what happens to the students afterwards. So the movie's not interested in answering that question.
Because I think like the real life comparison to this would be like a disgraced celebrity. Like, what if like your entire like Bill Cosby, like you watch the Cosby Show when you
I
were
was
a kid,
just about to say
and
Bill Cosby.
The comfort of the Cosby Show helped you through some really tough times. You would always be able to come back to that. It was on TV. And then you find out like Bill Cosby was like raping women for like 40 years.
I got one for you.
And
yeah.
it's just like, is it better like for you as a person that you don't know that? Or does that ruin everything for you? But is that good because that's the truth? Obviously, in the grander societal scale, it's better for the truth about a person like that to come out so they can be punished.
Yeah.
But in regards to just like
If they were dead.
the optics of
Right. Yeah.
you.
Say this came out 30 years after
Yeah.
Bill Cosby died.
Yeah.
You know, the raping part of it. And it's like, do we even tell them? You know?
Yeah, like it's one.
Or do we settle
Yeah.
we settle with these women who've been abused, you know, and just kind of like let it be.
Because
let
there's-
his legacy live as a dad on TV who's teaching morals to kids.
Because this actually happened recently. Cesar Chavez, who is one of the most important labor leaders in United States history, in world history, basically, more or less is one of, I wouldn't say the founder, but he was like a massively influential figure in labor relations. Almost every city has a Cesar Chavez road or a statue of him. His co-founder of the organization, who's like 92 now, he's been dead for many years, came out and was just like, he raped me for the entire time we were running the company, running the union together. And I covered it up because I knew it would destroy the union. Or I didn't talk about it. But I need to talk.
Yeah.
I need this to not
Yeah.
disappear
Yeah.
into history when I die.
Yeah.
And it's like, and like they're renaming streets and taking statues down. And it is like I think fundamentally it is correct for that truth to come out. That should not be obscured. Absolutely. But it does like that person massively influenced labor relations and is the reason unions have the power they have.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting, like subject material to kind of dig into of, like the truth should come out about these people, but what is the cost of that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the movie is fundamentally not interested in delving into it.
Right.
And even though I do like this movie because I think it's interested in other things, that is like something it just I wanted to.
At the end of the day, it
Yeah.
doesn't really say anything
Yeah.
about anything.
Yes. Yes. Because at the Memorial Library thing, like they all just keep like they're clapping for him. He's like, they cuts the hypothetical ribbon. There is no ribbon cutting, but like he's there accepting, you know, the Memorial Library dedication. And then he just comes out and says, none of you knew Kyle. None of you actually liked him. I didn't even like him, but I loved him. He did not commit suicide. He died through autoerotic asphyxiation. He choked himself while jacking off to nude pictures of women.
Yeah.
He's a pervert. He was a sexist. He was a jerk, but he was my son. And then he walks away.
Yeah.
That's the scene.
And then he jumps into a pool.
And then we get Under Pressure.
Yes.
I texted Jeff, the second Robin Williams movie to have its
Well,
climax.
technically it's the first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
A movie we definitely have not already watched and recorded an episode of. Happy Feet 2 also features Under Pressure as its finale song.
We didn't know about that.
But we don't know about that.
We don't know
because we
about
haven't
that.
watched that movie yet.
Yeah.
I see.
So one of possibly two,
You'll maybe listen to that episode in 2 months.
maybe. But basically, yeah, Under Pressure plays. He gets naked. He jumps in the school swimming pool.
I mean, he just like me for real.
He just like you for real.
Just like me for real.
and then that's the end of the movie. We got the credits.
Well, no. there's
Oh,
one
no.
more scene.
We have one more scene. You're right.
It's him, his neighbor,
This is a good scene.
And Andrew.
Andrew Troutman, and a photo of Kyle watching Night of the Living Dead.
yeah.
Weird element of this movie is that Robin's house is entirely decorated with old horror movie posters.
Yeah. With no explanation.
One of them is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh.
which is a real movie, which is exactly what the title implies. I found it very distracting. Why does he have a Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
It could have been a bigger part of the movie, but he does he does make liking horror movies like kind of a defining part of, like The Neighbor, who we haven't talked about at all, which we don't have to get into.
Yeah.
She likes horror movies. And he's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then later on he asks the girlfriend if she likes
and she
zombie
said
movies.
just no horror
She's
movies.
like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck this chick. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It could have been a bigger part of the movie.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're just like, you're reminded at the very end, it just kind of comes up that he likes horror movies and they want to watch these zombie movies.
Yeah.
I think this is a good scene at the end of the movie.
because he becomes the parent that Andrew doesn't have.
Yeah. Andrew comes up to him actually right before this and goes, I knew he didn't write it.
Yeah. I think you need to move that scene before the reveal.
Absolutely.
If you move that scene before the reveal, I actually think that fixes a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
I think Andrew just confronting him, like when Robin's at like the peak of his success, and Andrew just confronting him and saying, I know that you wrote that. I know that he didn't. I knew him really well. And yes, he sucked, but like,
Well, he even says like
he wasn't
where's-
smart.
he's like it didn't have rim jobs in it or
Yeah.
something
yeah,
like
it
that.
didn't have buttholes or
Yeah.
rim jobs or vaginas. Like that wasn't written by
yeah,
him.
That's a pretty good line,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, it's a good line.
It's well delivered. We're killing it, but
I think that you put that scene before,
Yes.
and Robin like finally has someone tell the truth to him for the first time in
it like
an hour of movie.
it
Yes.
seems like a weird plot point when he does say that first and it's like
Yeah.
it didn't have any fucking rim jobs in it. It seems like the movie wants to go in the direction where him and there's like another scene of like Andrew talking to the gym teacher.
Yeah.
You don't hear what they're saying, but they're kind of like you know, and it's like, oh, are they gonna like kind of plot together to like figure this out?
Yeah.
Does not explore that any more than that. Drops it immediately.
Whenever there's a movie about like a character like concealing a lie, you expect that the tension is going to be.
It's almost like this-
someone's trying to find it out.
This movie was 45 minutes longer.
Yeah.
And then it had to be cut down. And it cut out all of the plot points in it. All it left was montage
Yeah.
stuff. You know,
I truly think you move that Andrew scene before, and you like cut off some of the loose ends that the movie established. And I think the second half of this movie has a much better flow to it.
I
And
agree.
the ending feels earned.
yeah.
Because I don't think like Robin needs to spend the entire time feeling guilty. I think you can build up him not feeling guilty and then have Andrew come in and undercut all that and like kind of destroy his tower with like,
right.
you are lying on this, and that can be all that Robin needs to go up there and just
As Stuart was
Reveal.
saying, or you know, you guys are both pitching
Better movies than we got.
just like it's like man, because we've been talking about this whole time. It's like what we're asking for is a lot more tension. What we're asking for is a lot more guilt from Robin.
Yeah.
We need him to be, you know, kind of going through an emotional journey and then also maybe almost getting caught and feeling bad about it. We're asking for all that, but what all it really needs is one fucking scene before the end to justify it.
This
And
is
that's the most
in-
frustrating when there's like it only needs
And then
one.
there's
Well-
no fucking payoff at the end.
I was gonna
You're
say,
like, oh
like-
my god, this movie said nothing about anything, and
This-
now it's over.
He jumps into a pool.
Yeah,
This movie is in the category of movies that could have been really good, but just like missed the mark. Which we've talked a lot. We've talked ad nauseum about this type of movie that we've covered a lot on this show, but like it almost makes the movies worse than just the bad movies. Because the bad movies you watch and you're just like, nah, there is no way that's going to work. You just enjoy it for what it is, and then that's it. And it's over. It's gone. But like these types of movies, like linger with you a little bit because you're like, that could have been really good, but like one or two mistakes completely flop-sided it, and like it made it all for nothing.
well, this movie had quite a few mistakes. They had There was a couple moments, there's a couple easy fixes that could have saved it.
Yeah.
At least a little bit,
Yeah.
you know? But there are multiple things that we've brought up today that could have made this movie just a lot better overall.
I stick by my
A
3 out
lot
of
of
5
different points in this
stars
movie.
on it, mostly just because I admire Robin's conviction in the role. I like the way that he is sort of playing this father figure who's trying to be a dad, but also not, but also like has so many other like expectations on his shoulders that he just doesn't really know what to do with. And I kind of actually like, I do think Bobcat Goldthwait had an intention with this movie, but I agree with you, Jeff. I think just the execution of it was not satisfactory.
But that's what I still like is like I think what he's going for is interesting to me in a way that it almost supersedes some of the problems I have with the plot.
It doesn't quite do that for me, but I understand that. That I think we're kind of in the same boat. The only difference is I can't quite forgive it for not executing the intention well.
Because it wouldn't have been that hard, genuinely.
I think that's a key difference between Jeff and I is Jeff, and you tell me if you don't agree with this, but you can see a movie that has potential for something really great, and even though it may not fully deliver on it, there are a lot of things you can forgive just because you see that, like, I see what this movie was trying to go for, and what it was going for was an admirable thing.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, like, I can overlook some of the mistakes and flaws. Whereas for me, it's like, I want to see a movie go after something and like hit the mark.
Mm-hmm.
And when a movie clearly is going after something that's great and good, but it doesn't hit the mark, I'm like, that's not a good movie. Because like there are movies who would do the exact same thing and they hit the mark. But I still give it credit for trying.
Have you guys seen the drama?
Yeah.
The
no.
Rob Pattinson Zendaya movie?
I've been wanting to watch it.
Kind of weirdly tackles a topic somewhat similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler for the drama. If you haven't seen the drama, just skip. It's
very good.
Skip
I
like
liked
a
it.
minute and a half, 2 minutes ahead in this episode. But Stuart, basically, it's like Rob Pattinson and Zendaya are getting married.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
And they're drinking.
I know.
They're doing like a wine game where it's like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And they're going around the
fucking
table.
hate those games.
And they're going around the table, and it gets to Zendaya. And she's like, I almost did a school shooting. And she realized she got like, basically, she had a weapon. She was ready to do a school shooting when she was a teenager. And then someone shot up the mall in her town and kind of beat her to the punch. So she didn't do it.
Wow.
And
Yeah, she had like a whole manifesto and like all this, like she was going to do it.
And then she transitioned hard into anti-gun.
Yeah, she kind of found an identity in like kind of like
gun prevention,
protesting,
gun violence prevention,
Wow.
activism. Yeah.
and found people there and like found friends. And the movie is like all the characters kind of reckoning. Like it's her and Robert Pattinson's like marriage kind of, or relationship starting to deteriorate on the eve of their wedding under this revelation of like, I didn't really know, like, can I see the good person that you are knowing this now? Really,
That's a good spoiler in the sense that I still want to watch the movie to see how it ends. But like
yes,
it's I highly recommend it.
yeah, it's quite good. Perhaps I like, there's part of me that's like, I shouldn't have told you, but I think for the purpose of this podcast, I think it's actually relevant. Because it's a movie that is interested in some similar ideas to World's Greatest Dad. And I think does a really nice job delving into them.
It's the big twist. It's
Yeah.
it's like having this movie spoiled for me.
Yeah.
But having the drama like that, it happens fairly quickly in the movie. It's at the
like
end of the
20 minutes
first
in.
act, you know. But the movie itself is about exploring like what to do now that we know this information.
Yeah.
Versus this movie, which is not about that.
which is why I think I gotta stop doing this where I keep trying to fix the movie. But like, which is why I think like if the very first scene had been him dead,
Yeah.
and the rest of the scene is like not to make it as corny as flashbacks, but maybe flashbacks might be the way to go. But just to be like, all the things that paint him as the good guy, but we start getting more and more peeks of who he really was behind the curtain.
Yeah.
It could have been an option. Could have been like a direction. I'm sure it was something they
Or
probably
this movie is just about Robin Williams' character.
Yeah, or
You know?
that, yeah.
And the kid kills himself at the beginning. Robin Williams is in a web of lies, and he's going to get caught, and he feels guilty, and all of this is kind of all happening to him at once.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. I would watch that movie.
Well, you're not alone because this movie premieres August 2009. This movie cost $10 million.
Yes.
Do you, Jeff? I'm sure you already looked
Oh,
it up.
I've seen how
Mac,
much money this movie.
Did you already look up how much this movie
No,
made?
I have not.
Take a guess how much this movie
I
made.
have no idea.
We'll throw a ballpark number out there. $10 million budget. I will tell you this. It did not make more than its budget.
Yeah, no, I assume that. I don't
It
know.
was a
let's
flop.
say $4 million it made.
Much lower.
Really? Less than $1 million?
Less than $1 million.
Okay. Jesus Christ. How much? I don't know.
$295,000.
Yeah.
Big flop.
Yeah, that's a mega flop.
Mega flop. The flop of all flops.
Like that is like, and you watch the movie, you're not surprised.
No.
Who wants like
Not at all.
In
I would not
regards-
recommend this movie to anybody.
Who in 2009
The first
is going
year
out
of
to
the
the theater
Obama
to see this movie?
Well, the problem is like it's the first year of the Obama administration.
It's a time of optimism.
It's a time of optimism.
Absolutely it is. It's time of hope.
It's a time of hope. People do not want to go see the Suicide Kid movie. Okay, even if it is branded as a black comedy. And
So I think this movie plays a little better in like
today,
time of
yes,
despair.
yes,
Yeah.
it plays. It
Existential nihilism.
definitely plays better today for sure. But I mean, the movie gets fairly good reviews. Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars. But said he noticed that the material could have been even darker in its satire and questioned whether it was the director's intention. Which is kind of where I sort of vibe with. I think this movie needed to be darker. It needed to be more like depraved almost, like especially in the sense of like the Jesusifying of Kyle Clayton needed to be more like apparent and more ad nauseum to us, because like that's why I go back to the feminism woman of just being like, your son made me realize that he was such a champion of feminism. It's like, no, he fucking was. Like that's what the movie needs us to be doing. The movie needs us to be like slamming our fist at the screen and being like, he's not that guy.
This is Robin's highest rated movie between 2002 and his death.
What was 2002?
Insomnia.
Oh yeah.
Post Insomnia. This is one of the only 3 movies of his that gets positive reviews, aggregate, and it has the highest average. The other ones are 1 Hour Photo, Robots, and 4 Happy Feet and The Butler,
Yeah.
and they all get like in the 70s, and this is an 88%, which is a kind of crazy number.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it gets this movie is well liked by critics, but like people just don't want to go see it. And a flop of that magnitude, like we've talked about flops on this show before, but like a $10 million budget, which $10 million is like, like $5 million of that is going to Robin Williams' salary. Like I like to think that Robin would likely have done this for like a pay cut for like Bobcat Goldthwait, but like when you're in the lead role, like there's only so many favors you can pull before the agents and managers want to like get a good 10% cut of something. So like bare minimum, he's doing this for like maybe $1 million.
Well, he also probably, when he ties himself to this movie, gets more funding.
Yeah,
for the movie.
and that too. Like Robin coming on.
So
to this
he's
movie.
allowed to get paid because the studio's fine with it, because they're like, it's going to make more.
It's going to make more because you got Robin Williams on.
Yeah.
So here you can have another $5 million.
Exactly.
Which like cool, great, but like yikes, guys.
Yeah.
Like, because that just makes the catastrophe even worse, because like I'm trying to look for Bobcat Goldthwait's IMDb again to see like where he goes on after this. But I mean, like, no one can really recover from a flop that massive. I mean, so after this movie comes out in 2009, and almost everything that he does, God Bless America in 2011.
Which is a Joel Murray comedy.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's younger brother.
To be fair, with tying Robin to this movie, we would not be watching it right now.
Yeah.
were he not in it. It may be completely forgotten if Robin Williams is not in this movie.
Yeah.
That's
the power of the star power.
It's a great segue, Mac, into my next point, which is this movie does gain a small like cult following after Robin's death, which the obvious thing to point out there is how can you not? Because it's a movie dealing with suicide, and like right after Robin's death, it became, you know, the big question mark over Robin's death was like the comedian who killed himself, right? Yeah. It's like, look at this very funny guy who brought so much joy and happiness to other people's lives, and he turned out to be the most depressed of them all.
Yeah.
Which is a complete like fiction of a hypothesis when you really boil down to why he actually died. But it was still like the primary like thing a lot of people took from the death immediately thereafter. And so this movie does gain like a small like cult following. And Bobcat Goldthwait like goes on a lot of talk shows and podcasts after during the press of this movie, after this movie, and then after Robin's death. And he always goes back to this movie talking about how like, you know, working with Robin on this movie, like the thing I said before when we did Shakes the Clown, I think, is Bobcat Goldthwait is probably the most loudest voice when it comes to pointing it out to people that like Robin's suicide. I mean, was he depressed? Probably. Like, you know, he's going through a major health crisis with Lewy body's dementia. His marriage is falling apart. His career is falling apart. Like, he probably was depressed, but you got to understand, like, the reason why he committed suicide was because he had a like neurological degenerative disease that made him hallucinate and like kind of go crazy. So like this whole synopsis of the sad, dreary, dark comedian who killed himself story, it's, you know, it is a little misleading. And so I give Bobcat a lot of credit for being the person that comes out and like points this out quite frequently, being like don't get it twisted that, you know, he was this like very like sad, like, I mean, of course he probably was, knowing how his life was at the time, but there were a lot of more factors involved. So that's just my 2 cents on, you know, Bobcat.
Two Bob, two Cat.
Two Bob, two Cat.
But no, I think that the movie does have a little bit of a cult. That's why I kind of wish Cole was also able to be here, because he's extremely enthusiastic about this movie.
Really?
He's like like it would have been like all four, like would have love, like apathetic, dislike. We would have had the full spectrum.
Would have been good, Cole.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did pass away, as we know, due to autoerotic asphyxiation. Yeah. If you please go to Blue Sky, what's his Blue Sky? Find him on Blue Sky and please tweet condolences at him for his recent passing. We really want to remind people that he was a lover at heart, one of the great Americans.
Man, this is fucked.
All right.
If you or somebody you know is struggling with suicide ideation or a depression, please, you know, you're not alone. Call people, call the suicide hotline, and yeah, you're never alone. You have people out there. As Robin Williams says in this movie, it's kind of the delivery of it in the context of the movie makes it kind of cringy, but I'll say it anyway. Suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems. Any other final thoughts on World's Greatest Dad?
SpongeBob plays the TV guy.
Yes.
Another Bobcat Goldthwait friend.
Tom Kenny.
Oh, Tom Kenny is his friend. He was in Shakes the Clown too, right? That's right.
He was the killer clown.
He was the killer clown.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, Mac, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Yeah.
Appreciate having you as always. And thank you everybody to listening for this episode of Travolting Presents Bobbin for Robin, World's Greatest Dad. If you like this episode, please remember to rate, review, comment, like, and subscribe of whatever platform you're listening on, whether that be Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or many of the other platforms we're on. And I want to give a shout out. To a fan favorite of ours who has been commenting on pretty much all of our like Spotify episodes, Mark Crespo. We love your comments, Mark. Keep commenting. We really appreciate it. And we always enjoy and we like people commenting on these episodes. Even if they're episodes of movies that you liked, that we talk dog shit on. We talk a lot of shit about August Rush. You know what Mark said, Jeff?
What do you say?
He said, one of Freddie Highmore's best performances ever. Awesome episode. Thank you. Heart emoji, heart emoji.
That's very
Mark,
sweet.
It's very sweet.
we were pretty harsh on August Rush, but we really like that you enjoyed this movie and enjoy Freddie Highmore's performance. We hope, if you haven't seen World's Greatest Dad, take it or leave it if you want to watch it or not.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to watch this movie.
But if you have watched it and if you love it, we hope you still
Let us
like
know
this
what you
episode.
think. Just give me a call and I'll debate about it.
Yeah. But
Also, our episode on License to Wed got taken down off of Spotify for some reason.
I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix
But
that.
if you were like, what's this? Just you can find it on the other things. It's still on.
It's
Apple
still on
Podcasts.
Apple. It's going to be on YouTube, but I'm also I'll fix it so it'll be up on Spotify. I just haven't had time to do that. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening. Especially special thanks to Michael Van Bodegum Smith, the theme music, and Rebecca for the graphic design. Thank you all for listening to this episodes on World's Greatest Dad. Join us next week when we jump into the amazing movie Shrink. Who's the lead actor of Shrink, Jeff? Who's the lead actor of Shrink, Jeff?
Stewart.
Who's the lead actor of Shrink, Jeff? Who's the lead actor? Who's
Lord help me.
who? Hold on, I'm trying.
Are you pulling up? You better be pulling. Yes, you are pulling it up. Good.
I know what you want.
Turn it off.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin Spacey's in that movie.
Yeah, listen to our episode on Shrink next week to hear us delve into the Let Me Be Frank quadrilogy, the series of increasingly threatening YouTube videos Kevin Spacey posted on Christmas Eve for 4 years, in which he implies maybe I killed people.
All right, that's all for this week. See you next week for Shrink. Bye.